you're deformed. I'm asking, is anybody deformed?
Is there a church anywhere around here? I'm going to butt in.
Sorry.
Is anyone in
Look,
this
if
village
anybody else
before?
wants to jump in.
I just did.
Jumped up in 10 minutes again.
Hi everyone!
Test.
Hey!
Hopefully you can hear us.
Test.
We're alive!
How's it going?
Oh.
There's the 6 minutes.
There we go again.
We were wondering where that
Wow.
was.
Wow.
Excellent. Just
We've excelled all our energy before we came on live with singing.
we're just, I was just gobsmacked by this awesome new overlay that we've got, which is a kind of amalgamation of a few things, but that looks cool. Well done. That's fantastic.
Nice.
Love it.
Ooh.
Yay!
Welcome.
Yeah, well done, Ange.
Start again.
I do some amazing
any
things.
Credit, any credit for Infinity we'll just give to somebody else at random.
Get siphoned.
Oh,
Blades in
me.
the Dark. Blades in the Dark, guys. Can you believe we're back to Blades in the Dark again after
Don't
how long has
large
it
it
been
up
since
too
we
much,
last
man.
played? How long's it been?
It
since
was
we...
August.
Yeah.
Was it August? It feels longer than that.
Yeah.
It's been
It was
good.
It was the summer. It was a while ago. I've lost. Yeah.
Yeah. At some point in
A while
2020.
ago.
It may have been.
It was
2020.
before. It was before we formed this. So.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
yeah. So
it was
before
still
we
when it's
did
back on my channel.
Infinite Monkey Tales and the Discord. It was all way back then when life was so much simpler.
Ah, those were the days. Yeah, we used to stream. For those of you who are new to this channel, we used to stream on my channel, which was for a couple of years. I think we did D&D and we did Cthulhu and we did Blades. And then we had this idea about the same time actually. Why don't we have a specific community and a specific channel just for the tabletop role-playing games? And we talked about it, and we ummed and awed about it, and we had a couple of false starts when we came up with names, only to discover that very famous people already had names that were very, very similar. And so we did not actually go ahead, and then one thing after another, and then we got it, we made it, we did it, and now we are surrounded by these awesome, fine community people, and these awesome gamers as well. We've played so many games, we've played so many characters. It has been just absolutely amazing, and the response has been fantastic in terms of new people coming in. I wasn't even in, even with the original game that was planned for last night, I wasn't in that, and I was ready just to sit back and watch. It's fantastic to be in a situation where there are actually more people wanting to play games than we have slots. I think that's testament to all the fine hard work that particularly Angie's been doing, especially on the technical side. It's been fantastic.
And
I've been streaming overlays.
And if you did miss last night's stream, don't worry, you missed nothing.
Literally.
you literally missed.
I would
nothing.
suggest playing it through at twice the speed if you do watch it.
There was dice rolled.
It was dice rolled.
There was a lot of dice.
And things didn't happen.
Yep. Things did happen. We just didn't care.
We had a lovely cruise. It was a lovely cruise adventure.
Yeah.
You were
Yeah,
rolling last night at serious disadvantage. I mean, you were taking the lowest roll of everybody in chat who rolled. What right to stymie it?
We thought
It was a
it'd be
bit of a
good
mistake. We didn't think that one through. We really didn't. But
Well, technically it was the highest rolls, but it was the ones that gave you the most disadvantage, wasn't it? And like I rolled a 98 right off the bat.
yeah, we
can
all
do it
played out.
afterwards.
And to be fair, it was the first roll, so even if they'd taken that, it was.
Yeah, to
it was
be fair,
still,
most of them were the first roll anyway, so we would have been bummed anyway. But we won't be doing that again.
we never found out. What was in
we
Harden's house.
role played out a cruise.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
But it was like one of
tuned.
those really dull cruises where people
We
played
just did bingo every
mahjong
night.
or oil painting or
Yeah,
played
exactly.
bingo. It was
We did.
This was a prepared. This was a off the peg adventure, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like one of those rock and roll cruises from like Portsmouth to Glasgow.
It was amazing. Every bit of hint or plot thing that we had to find, we didn't get.
Yeah.
So we got nothing. We found nothing.
Did you make your own stats, or do they come with the adventure? So like we had like, we need to roll under 20, and you're like, what kind of solo play adventure is this?
And spent like 20 minutes beforehand doing all the rolls for the stats, which we never got to use.
It was amazing. It was the best game ever.
So stay tuned, because that will be coming back to the Infinite Monkey Tales channel at some point in the future. So we will redo it.
What we did do, though, we did play arguing people really well.
You did.
Yeah. So it was so real. It was almost like real life.
It was. I did have to ask Ange afterwards who she was actually married to.
It wasn't just afterwards.
I wasn't sure.
Why were you missing out on the arguing? Did you have more of it in your life?
Well, it's quite nice to just see somebody else getting it for a change.
Thanks. Cheers.
I think Andy thrives on it though.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Oh well. Sorry, guys.
Yep.
Yeah. Maybe you should bump all your stats to 50, so that way you have like a 50-50 chance of succeeding on your 16-part series.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It was very funny though. It was funny.
Yeah.
On to what's coming up, now that we've discussed what failed and wrong. Coming up on Infinite Monkey Tales, Ange.
Well, actually, we didn't get a chance to check this, but we have Monday. We have a chat session going on with Croy, some old pirate, and I think Pale Writer and Keen are jumping in on this one.
Yep.
Are you only doing it for 4, or did you want any more in it, or is it just sticking to 4? I can't remember what you decided. Or did we even have a conversation about it?
I don't think we did.
All right, well, anyone else wants to join in? Oh, Al, him. Below me, I think he wants to come in and cause trouble, because he's never known to cause trouble or an argument ever.
I'm good at devil's advocate. I am what you need in that chat, because last time it was so one-sided it was unfair.
So I'll be watching from bed. But yeah, so that's on Monday. I think we're looking at the pros and cons of sandbox versus scripted campaigns. But that is up for change. So if you want to discuss something or annoy somebody with something that you know will riot, then just put the questions over to me, and I'll set them for them.
Yeah.
So just DM me any questions that you want to, or really, really hard ones that they can't answer, and then they will look, that were good.
It'll probably be a half-hour stream, and after 2 hours of streaming, we'll have not answered anything but the first question.
Yeah, we're getting good at this. So yeah.
We're not trying to put the world to rights, man.
Yeah, next week is supposed to be casting the runes. Mark's not got it prepared because he keeps forgetting about it. So we are going to speak to Trolls and see if he does want to roll Monkey Pirates. If not, we I don't know.
We'll get something.
I'll think about it tomorrow. Yeah. Then we have.
I sense a cruise coming on.
Oh. We're Mutants and Masterminds on the Saturday the 5th, and it's the superheroes that are the bestest ever superheroes in the world.
Yeah.
Both super and heroic.
See, it says Mutants and Masterminds. Basically, we can call us
got a whole new lineup of people. Don't worry.
You can call us Mutants, Masterminds. No, that's
just
not.
mutants at this point.
Yeah.
Mutants and minus minds.
Yeah,
That's
Monday
what
the
we are.
7th we have D&D, our offline game, which hopefully Russ will be back for, and that's good fun. It's really chilled out, and I get to learn some rules finally about D&D. In a while, but Friday the 11th we are showcasing a new game for the channel, Carbon 2185, and that is being GM'd by Strain. He's not with us at the minute. He was with us this afternoon. He was playing D&D with us this afternoon with Nicholas, whatever. Oh yeah, him.
With Kadari.
Kedari.
Yeah. He ran that this afternoon, and that was fun. Yeah, we did really well on that one. No one died, which is always a good one. So that's an off-stream one again that's running in the Discord on Infinite Monkey Tales, and that's
I know, on the subject of Carbon 2085, the rule book is
Always free.
at this moment in time. If you go to the
Yes.
Dragon Turtle website, I think it is. Is it
Dragon
Dragon
Turtle website. Get the so you want to
You
read
can
the
get
rules.
the rule book for free.
If you want the link for that, get in the Discord. It's on the main channel.
Yeah.
We'll get that reposted before the stream's going out so that everyone can see it and get it easily. But yeah, it's worth it just to get a free PDF. It does come through if you do it via PayPal. It does show as a penny, but they refund that straight away apparently. So it is actually free. So worth getting.
And then the Saturday 12th, we have the second run of the Mysteries of Blacklaw with Kadari. And then on Saturday the 12th in the evening, we have the return of The Lost.
Not lost.
We're not lost because we found it with Ariel and Tanner, and we have a few new characters. But that is definitely happening on the 12th. How it's happening, where it's based, who's playing, will yet to be discussed.
Yep.
We seem to be running out of time all the time at the minute. It's just scary. And then literally running up to the last week of Christmas, we have Friday the 18th. We have Heckness Revelia being run by Kadari. Look,
Kadari.
can't say his name. Kadari. Him over there, down there. Yes, he's running that. That's a D&D 5e session, which is a one-shot. I think it's a carnival, twisted, horror-y.
Are there spaces in that?
There was one space in that.
Oh, okay.
And then hopefully, if it all goes well tonight, on the Saturday the 19th, we go the second session of Blades in the Dark. Depends how drunk some old pirate gets and how well the game goes.
Does one require the other?
Yeah.
Yeah, normally.
Well,
When he used to
whatever
gig,
happens, if I have drink
when he used to be a singer years ago, I used to know when he was drunk on stage because he used to start insulting the audience. Say to them, "Get up and dance, you
Is that where you got it
bastards."
See, I don't need alcohol to do that.
I used to go, "Oh God, don't get him any more Bacardi. He's gone now. He's on stage. He's drunk." You know, once he got chucked out of a band because he actually stage dived.
I did. The embarrassing thing was there was nobody there, and all the change fell out of my pockets.
So he
and
didn't
rolled
dive.
across
He
the
did his
floor.
stage dive. All his money fell out his pocket and everything. And all the band
dear.
just looked at him like that. Yeah, they didn't.
And that was it. That was the last time
He didn't sing with them.
Bros was never the same.
It wasn't.
I don't know how that flicked into my head there, but yeah. So yeah, then we.
Please continue. The embarrassing stories are great.
So yeah, and then I'm not sure we're having a D&D offline on the 21st. I think that date's got to be checked out because it's the run up to Christmas and we don't know where anyone is. Because nobody knows where anybody's going to be at the moment with Christmas, with tiers and lockdowns and things changing at every other day. So, but if anyone does want to run a game during that week, please just let me know. DM me. Let me know. I will endeavour to try and help you one way or another, whether it's offline or whether anyone's around. So just message me if you want to get a group of people together. Let me know. And then that's it. Hand over to anyone else got anything to say?
I'm just going to give you this rod for your back, if that's all right.
Oh, okay. Oh, but also don't forget to log on to Croy's VR channel to watch him in his tight pants doing exercise every day of the week at lunchtime. It's great. I sit and eat my bacon sandwich watching him.
Yeah, they could be
Hilarious.
tighter. Maybe you have to donate bits for that.
Yeah. But don't forget to go over to that on every Monday about 1 o'clock, is it, till 1:30, and he sweats and huffs and puffs and swears and rages and stuff like that. But talking of Croy and raging, tomorrow night on Croy VR, he is house flipping.
Woo! In a kill! Woo!
Oh yeah, in the killed!
A Scottish band skirt. Did he do another community challenge? Or is this like you getting into it now? Like the half flip of bug has got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I'm addicted, 100%. I need to get help. Please send help.
So yeah, okay, I'm going to mute myself now. I'm going to hand over now to some other people because Croy's going to kill me.
Yep. So for more information, like I say, get in the Discord. Now, tonight, our game is being hosted by some old pirate. So without further ado, we will hand over the Master's wand. And away we go. I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah.
Cue next scene.
I don't want to touch.
Hi! Totally did not forget to
Can
put
you
the
hear me
audio on that
now?
one. Hopefully
Oh
you can
right.
hear us.
We're
Does
back.
that mean they missed all of the hilarity with the?
Yeah, the best pun in the world.
It was.
Ever.
Never mind. Actually, I have no idea how to start this. How should we start this?
I mean, you could probably. I don't know if everyone
In a
in
boat?
this chat will know what the game's about.
Oh man, that means I've got to find something that will tell me what the game.
Or just we did a whole session 0.
We did a session 0. We are, and if I was,
I've got the
I didn't think
instructions.
about it at all.
I could buy some time here by reading the first couple of paragraphs from the instruction book if you want.
Look at that. Yes.
Blades
just
in the
while this
Dark.
loads up.
Copyright. Copyright. First printing.
Blades in the Dark.
January
by John
2nd,
Harper.
2018.
Okay.
Blades.
Okay.
Do you want me to?
Go for it.
Blades in the Dark is a game about a group of daring scoundrels building a criminal enterprise on the haunted streets of an industrial fantasy city. There are heists, chases, escapes, dangerous bargains, bloody skirmishes, deceptions, betrayals, victories, and deaths. We play to find out if the fledgling crew can thrive amidst the teeming threats of rival gangs, powerful noble families, vengeful ghosts, and the bluecoats of the City Watch, and the siren song of the scoundrels' own vices.
I've got to fit all of that in. Wow. Yeah. So welcome to Blades in the Dark. It's a narrative-driven role-playing game, written by John Harper and published by Evil Hat Publications. And as we've just discovered, the players take on the roles of these scoundrels who are trying to make their fame and fortune in the ghost-haunted city of Duskwall. 1,000 years ago, there was a cataclysm that destroyed the sun and broke open the gates of death. And the few remaining cities that survived the cataclysm left in perpetual darkness and are surrounded by these crackling lightning towers which keep out all the vengeful spirits that roam the Deathlands. And these barriers are powered by something called electroplasm, which is harvested by huge metal ships that go out into the void sea to harvest demon blood from the gigantic leviathans that live beneath it. And Duskwall is an industrial city. They say it's a mashup of Venice, London, and Prague from around the 1870s. And it's all densely packed. Every square foot is covered with human construction of some kind. There's stacked tenement buildings and sprawling manors, canals, waterways, and bridges. And our crew, such as they are at the moment, our fledgling crew, will find themselves in part of Duskwall as we start this game. In an area known as Silkshore. And you've all been summoned here at the request of a merchant that is kind of known to you. His name is Emrys Boyle. And he has asked you to meet him somewhere near Spark Grounds. Down here. Okay.
Emrys Boyle.
Emrys. Emrys. And so you have made your way. You're a professional outfit, aren't you? You are renowned for being professional, so I guess you're going to all arrive on time. You all know each other, somehow.
Well, we're in a gang.
You're in a gang! So let's jump across to...
We're so professional, we arrived 10 minutes early. I think Infinity just died.
Oh no.
That was Andy adjusting his mic arm after closing his camera rather than using his microphone for some reason.
Subtle.
Okay, so you find yourselves in the Spark Grounds, which basically is the atmosphere here is of like a circus almost. There are conjurers, jugglers, people on a high wire that you can see there way up in the sky, silhouetted in the light of this crackling lightning tower that dominates the area. And you catch sight of figures on these kind of hang gliders who are occasionally lightning striking out at these strips of metal attached to the hang gliders from the tower, creating this shower of sparks. So the whole area is kind of lit up, not just by the tower, but these sparks that are almost like fireworks going off. And you're waiting around at this meeting place that has been arranged.
I don't know everyone, but as a professional, this is a health and safety nightmare.
Okay, so... And you wait, only for a few minutes. Who have we got here? Who would like to kind of describe the character first?
I think Infinity should go first for all of his technical troubles.
Yes, I am Caspar Farrow. I am a loner. I move in the shadows, as I am more friendly and familiar with them than you'll ever know. Caspar is in a cloak. He always has his hood up, and he well, best way to describe him would be the Hunter from Lord of the Rings. That's not his name. You're all looking puzzled.
You mean from Shadow of Mordor, or...
the range that ends up being the king.
Aragorn!
Aragorn, yes. Yeah.
Okay, alright.
The Hunter! King Hunter of Gondor!
So, he finds himself in most places. He'll mingle into the backgrounds. He's quite mysterious. He has got the most distinguishing feature in that his eyes are pure white. Most people...
And this is because of his Taikarosi heritage, isn't it?
Yes. People see him as a demon, but really, he's a horrible person.
So demon possession will soften him up a bit.
Yeah.
But if ever you look at him, you can swear blind he always has two shadows.
Oh.
Yeah.
He always walks in streets that have multiple street lights.
He always has a little torch with him. Oh, look at the
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go next. I am Ashlyn Claremont. I am strikingly tall. I have platinum blonde hair. I have bright blue eyes that can stare at you as if reaching deep into your soul. I am extremely well dressed. I have a black leather clothes and a long tail-fin leather coat, and always have crisp white shirts on. I have many rings on my fingers, and I'm even known to have jewels in her hair. She walks with grace and refinement.
Right. 40.
Yes.
I'll go for it next, I guess. So my character is Solomon Black. He's a bit of a boy, like, from around town, because he's kind of grew up on the streets and is sort of an orphan. Like, he's always got like a sort of a weird air about him. Like sometimes he'll be talking to you, sometimes he'll be talking to someone that you can't see. Because he can see into the ghost field and interact with it in ways that regular thieves and cutpurses can't, which kind of makes him a bit special. Character-wise, sort of a youngish guy, sort of longish dark hair, with a sort of like a loose-fitting long-sleeve shirt, sort of held in by a waistcoat and sort of like leather cuffs or braces. And he wears like a little charm around his neck, like a necklace medallion thing, which he believes has sort of protection from the worst parts of the sort of the spirit world.
Cool. Who's up next?
Boy.
Boy or Kadari?
Now go.
All right.
My name is Slipmakian. I'm Iruvian by default, but I've been in Duskfall for more years than I care to remember. I have black hair, my skin is a tint of amber. I am quite old in comparison to young Solomon, but nevertheless, I hold myself well in a battle. If anyone tries to cross me, or my team, well, we'll see who ends up in slices on the floor.
Nice. Kadari.
Hi, I'm Nicholas Drozdov. He's a small man with a somewhat unkempt beard. He wears a slim-fitting jacket, trousers tucked into soft, overflowing leather boots. He seems almost like he resents standing on the ground. He's often perching on ledges or hanging off whatever he can find. But when he needs to, he can scale a building faster than anyone you've seen.
Nice. Okay, and so you find yourselves bathing in the light of the lightning tower in the spark grounds with this flurry of activity that's going on around you, and you're suddenly aware of a small figure darting through the crowd towards you. It looks like a young boy, possibly Iruvian. He's wearing a kind of shabby looking overcoat that's all black. He's got very dark hair, but he's wearing nothing on his feet. And he rushes towards you, and he stops still in front of you, and he looks up. I'm here to meet you, he says.
No. What can we do for you?
I'm to take you to him. Yes.
Emery.
To Emery Boyle.
Master Boyle, that's right. That's right, miss.
Well
Come on,
then.
And he
Show the way.
he moves off through the crowd, darting between them. Occasionally you lose sight of him, only to catch up with him, to find him waiting just a few feet further ahead. And he leads you through the back of the Spark Grounds, across a bridge over a canal. The Bridge of Dark Fruit, the sign says, towards what's known as the Rover Camp. And you can see a multitude of kind of tents that are all set up. But they don't. It doesn't look like a camp. It looks like these are here. These are kind of permanent fixtures of this place. He weaves amongst all of these tents until he arrives at one that's kind of in the middle of the area. He just darts in through the flap on the front. See a couple of burly-looking men standing at the front, the entrance there, and they appear to be carrying these kind of wickedly curved scimitars.
Does he just go past them?
He just runs straight through past them. These guys standing either side of the entrance there, and they don't even pay him any attention.
I'll just follow.
I'll just walk through.
He looks like he loves the shadows as much as you, Casper.
I doubt that.
They watch you warily as you approach, look you up and down, trying to get the measure of you before stepping aside, and you kind of enter into a cozy-looking tent that's lined with all these various silks. There are Aruvian tapestry kind of rugs across the floor. No real furniture to speak of, but many, many, many cushions, all embroidered silk. And there's a large guy that's kind of sat leaning on some of these cushions at the far end of the tent. And he doesn't get up as you enter. He kind of looks at you a little bit like, Please, come in, he says.
You asked for us?
Yes. Yes, please, sit down, make yourselves comfortable. Would you care for wine?
Yes. Do you have red?
Of course. And he gestures to the young boy that's standing there, who wanders off to the corner of the tent, and he starts filling up glasses. I mean, you come in, you make yourselves at home. What's the deal, guys?
Yeah, I'll come in. I'll probably take a seat, but I'll politely decline the wine. Like, I'm not going to be taking wine from a strange man I've never met before.
Same. Slip stands at the back next to the door. And he's surveying the tent. He wants to know, is there any other entrances into this place? Is there anybody else here who might be hiding in the shadows or whatever? He just wants to see it's not a trap, and he wants to know how to get out.
Right. No, I mean, you are standing by the only entrance that you can see. I mean, it is a tent. You could cut your way out, I guess, if without too much difficulty. But it is warm. It's inviting, and there are kind of braziers kind of scattered around the room, which are generating light and heat, which makes it quite welcoming, especially from the cold, foggy evening side. Once the drinks have been handed around, he says, as you know, I am Emrys Boyle. I am acting as an agent, if you will, on behalf of some mutual friends. And they are in need of your services.
What services do they require?
One, have They have a need for someone with the skills that you possess. You may have heard of a particularly daring heist. An upmarket brothel, the House of the Twilight Star in Night Market a few days ago. An item was taken during that raid, potential value of which the perpetrators of the robbery clearly have no clue. But it belongs to someone who wishes to remain anonymous, a valued client of, or a friend. He very much wishes to avoid any embarrassment that might come from frequenting such an establishment.
Do you know who took it?
We have our suspicions. But they no longer have the item in their possession. It's a private map book, and is currently being held by one Cedric Leitch, a fence of dubious reputation. He has made some clumsy inquiries for potential buyers, which has put us on to him. You are to retrieve this item from Leitch's townhouse. It's down one of the narrow alleys of Relic Lane in Six Towers. As a reward, you shall receive 4 coin and the continued favour of our friend.
Take it 4 coin is a lot.
It's a respectable amount.
Like a month or a few.
It's like if you imagine coin, 1 coin being the equivalent of a month's salary, wages.
Yeah.
It is a reasonable amount.
You can take some and put it into the crew stash and split some between you.
Yeah, you can do that. Well,
So,
do
get
we
me
have an
right
accord?
on this. You want us to do something for somebody that we don't know.
Oh no, you do know. They are a mutual friend, as I said. Discretion and the fact that you do not know who may be listening prevents me from mentioning who they are, of course. But you understand.
Well, my colleagues are all experts in the finer arts of remaining unseen. They can even keep me quiet sometimes.
We can only hope.
Well, our friends do not mind how you retrieve this item. That is left to you.
Well, do we have it? What information do you have about whereabouts this fence's property? Do you have any information you can provide us?
Late, she has a townhouse in Six Towers. Shouldn't be too hard to track him down. He's indiscreet, shall we say.
What about the other items they stole?
Well, if you find anything that you deem to be of value at Leitch's place, that is entirely your business. We just want the book.
£2 gold up front and then 2 gold on delivery.
I should like to remind you, madam, that this is an opportunity for you to repay the favour of somebody that is allowing you to operate within their territory.
That's interesting. I was under the impression that we'd already paid them.
That is true. And your tithe was gratefully received, but
I will say with sway. I remember how to play this.
Okay.
As you know, nobody does anything around here for nothing. And it's our risk, so we take money up front. You know the rules.
If you want to use sway, let's go for it. Yeah.
Is it
This
controlled?
is controlled. This is
Controlled, isn't
yeah.
it?
Yeah, it's
Standard
controlled.
effect. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say. Perhaps Perhaps you are right. Yes, he says, and he reaches in folds of this robe that he is wearing. He brings out some bags full of coins. Puts them down on the cushions in front of him between you.
Good to see that we can talk on real terms.
It would be a shame, though, if our friend would perhaps see this as lack of trust in them.
Yes, wouldn't that be a shame?
Certainly would. As
I'm sure they wouldn't expect anything less from us, given our reputation of being above board and fair dealings with all we deal with. And that only comes from consistency.
honor among thieves, eh?
Don't think of it as a lack of trust. It's merely a setup fee, if you think about it.
I'll explain that to them.
You may also want to explain to them that trust goes both ways.
Yes, that is also true. Well, he
This is
holds out
very
his
good.
hand.
This is very good wine. I do appreciate the wine. I like a gentleman that has a good taste in wine. Not many places have that these days.
I expect and receive nothing but the best.
Way to get around these days. Shame not everybody thinks like that.
That's
Yeah.
why we are here. And the other ragtags that inhabit this area are not.
Is there a
Well-
specific place you want this item delivering?
We'll know when you have it. We'll contact you.
Well, unless you have anything more important or vital that you could give us, we'll be making our way.
Yes. Well, it was a pleasure doing business with you. We hope to see you very soon.
No doubt.
Thank you.
I swig back my wine and step forward and put my hand out to shake his.
And yeah, he takes it. In fact, he probably gives it a rather wet kiss as you do that. Yeah. With a bit of a leer, because he's that kind of guy.
Take it away.
Mm.
Walk out. Don't even look at him.
Okay. So, that's the setup, ladies and gentlemen.
So, head back to our
Bye.
lair. Should we call it
Uh,
lair? Or
Den, I don't know.
then, what do we call it? I can't, it's fell out my head.
Your lair.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is in the docks, if I recall.
Yep. In a rundown old warehouse building or something.
Yeah. Had we actually established what it was in the end? It was an empty warehouse, wasn't it, down by the in the
Yeah.
docks there?
Then we have like a little docks area underneath as well. sort of
You
to help
did. You
us
have
access
like
some
we were
water.
saying, it was like one of those offices that were kind of on stilts, wasn't it?
Mm.
In an
Yeah.
abandoned warehouse. And so you find yourselves there, thinking about what's just been requested of you. You mean you would have no doubt that the people that have employed Emrys Boyle to speak to you are the Hive. They are the ones that you paid. You paid coin to them. Be on good standing with them, and to allow them to have them allow you operate in their territory.
So we find out it's like an elaborate gondolier trap.
Yeah.
Those rat bastards.
And so yeah, you find yourselves in the little office above the warehouse. A small, dimly lit electroplasmic lamp is hanging from the ceiling, lighting the area up in this pale blue. What do you do, folks?
Well, it's coin.
Indeed, and hopefully, because we are in good standing with the Hive, they won't screw us by sending multiple groups after the same reward.
It's not only the reward of the coin, but whatever else they stole. Not often you get information on a hit like that.
No, but we also don't know how much of it actually went to this fence.
Well, he's not
Like,
one of
was he-
our fences. If we take him out, likely we'll be knocking somebody else's supply lines too.
How far away are we from Six Towers? That's an
I'm
entire
just
district.
trying to
isn't
find it on the map.
Yeah, 6
it?
towers.
It's across town, isn't it? In this.
It is all the way over here.
Wow.
Yeah, so you're like opposite side of,
Yeah.
of the city. To you.
Yeah. So at least, yeah. If anyone was too perturbed by our operation, they would have a long way to walk to
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
hope to trace it back to us. So we should at least make sure we don't leave anything too obvious behind.
Would we know who runs that area? The group that's running that area.
I'd imagine that Solomon might be aware of the Dimmer sisters. That yeah, they do have presence in that area. Six Towers itself, it used to be a very, very wealthy, affluent area, but it's kind of fallen apart a little bit. And the streets are kind of generally a little bit overgrown, and these once exclusive-looking mansions are now kind of crumbling and tattered. And
Yeah.
there is a distinctly creepy vibe to the place. And the people that do reside there, a lot of these kind of old mansions have been turned into cheap apartments for people with little money.
Yeah.
And so they kind of wander around, generally clutching hold of their spirit bane charms. Because it's that kind
It's
of
a very
area.
superstitious area. Lots of
Yeah.
occultist activity.
Yeah. Mm. That's right.
But hopefully we'll have little trouble in the way of actual criminals, and we just have to worry about the crazy and the profane.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so he'd mentioned that Leitch had a house in an alley off a particular street,
Relic Lane.
Relic Lane. So you kind of have a rough location. But if you wanted to spend time maybe trying to
Is there a Yellow Pages?
find out. Oddly, no.
Isn't there a thing about Blades, just stepping out slightly now,
Hmm?
where we don't plan, do we?
You don't. But you might
You
want
kinda
to. You can spend a bit of time. Yeah, I mean, just for chat's benefit as well.
And run
Blades
through.
has a very specific kind of structure. Where it's kind of broken down into these little sections. And at the moment we're in what's called free play. And here is where you get to, you can gather information about things before settling on your score. And that's when we start rolling dice to figure out what kind of how the start of the score is going to be, or whether it's going to be you're going to be in a desperate position, controlled, or a risky position, which then affects how dangerous the situation is at
Yeah.
the start, that kind of thing. So you can gather information that might aid you with the engagement roll, for example, when we come to make that before the score.
Yeah. We'll do some casing.
Yeah, there's stuff like that. You know, there are
Yeah.
people that you can contact and speak to ask if they know.
What was his name? It was.
His name was Cedric Leitch. Leitch.
Cedric.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was Frederick. Yeah.
And the name of the street that we know they're on?
Relic
Relic.
Lane.
Relic Lane.
I mean, I don't
Which-
I'm only vaguely aware of the Dimmer sisters. I mean, I could always see if they have anything against him. We could always,
Yeah.
because there might be something from him that we could get for someone else that could also boost some relationships.
That sounds
Um,
like a good idea, Solomon.
I remember you also have your own contacts as well that you can use. You have
Yeah.
your friends and things like that, which, you know.
The more we know before we go in, well, the easier it'll be for us. And the worse it will be for him.
But we should also make sure we have a way out, not just a way in. We don't want to make that mistake again.
Yeah.
Casper, would you like to go and take a trip over just to stealth out check out the streets?
I'll find it.
Obviously.
I'll come back when I have some information.
I can reach out to the Dimmer sisters.
Oh, right, yeah.
Cas-
that's certainly a thing.
Casper will
But-
find where this
I don't really
location
have-
is, and then he'll probably start the area for a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what Casper is going to be doing. So Solomon is going to see if he can
Wait.
make some... You want to contact the Dimmer sisters in some way.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what
what-
Wade does. I can't remember what that skill did. Is that Wade? I can't remember.
What was that, sorry?
What was Sway? I can't remember what that did.
Sway
Look at my
is when you're
social
trying
skills
to kind
before
of
doing it.
manipulate
Yeah.
people with you that don't know. You can sort is a little bit different in terms of
Yeah. That was the thing.
fraternizing with friends.
Friends.
I think it is.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's why I picked it.
Acquaintances. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have got a dice I can roll for that. Anyway, yeah.
Righty then. What would would anybody else wanting to be doing anything during this time? Because we've still got Ashlyn, Slip, and Nicholas.
I have a friend called Bazo. I was thinking of maybe to go and check
Basho,
Basho
Baz.
and see if he has been he's a friend of mine. So if he
Hmm.
knows anything about it and what he's heard on the street.
Oh, okay.
But he
Right.
is a gang leader, so I would take some of the heavy with me.
Okay.
No.
You've got,
Who would?
you've
Who
got
would?
Nicholas.
Yeah.
Well,
What's-
where is what is Bash's territory?
Basho Baz.
Crowfoot.
He's in Crowsfoot, which is over here. He's the leader of a gang called the Lamp Blacks. Former lamplighters turned to a life of crime once electroplasm
Yeah.
became the most used power source in the city. And they operate out of an old coal warehouse,
Yeah.
Rosefoot. They're
They
also
didn't retrain when it came to automation. Yeah.
It's well known that they're also at war with another gang there called the Red Sashes.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I don't mind going with because it is on the way. Like, we'd have to go through Crowsfoot anyway, unless we go the long way around. So might as
Yeah.
well knock it off on the way through. If you need assistance.
You might need a couple of us, but as much as Basho, do you want to call him Basho?
Basho Baz, that's his name.
He's a friend of mine and like to be more, but equally he's ruthless. can't be trusted. But he is a good former at getting information. So any heavies with me would be a good idea. He's not somebody that we should be falling out with just now, though. Good source of information.
Yeah, we don't need to fall out with him.
You hear a noise from Slip as he's got his whetstone on his sword. He just looks. He looks up at you and says,
I like Basil. He's got good taste in whiskey.
You know, it's not supposed to be a literal whetstone.
Spits on it.
Nicholas,
Nicholas, are you coming with us?
Yeah, what's Nicholas? Has Nicholas got any or different plan of action maybe that he would like to try?
Nicholas is going to go with Casper in case the place itself, once Casper locates
Oh, okay.
the location.
Yeah.
I'm going to case entrances and also potential exits, especially if we need to leave in a hurry. Somewhere
Split
that
the
doesn't
crew.
involve everybody else
Yep.
climbing.
Yeah, well, that's cool. That's a great idea. So, shall we look at we'll deal with that first, as Nicholas and Casper make their way across town to Six Towers, and you make your way across to this relic lane.
Ah, we found it. I'm still looking on the map, but I know it's here somewhere. There it is.
Yeah, and there are kind of rows and rows of these kind of townhouses along here. They're kind of 3-story houses, very narrow fronted, and there's lots of them kind of in this area. But you know that there was Boyle has said that it was down a narrow alley that kind of led to Leitch's house. And there are numerous alleys here. And there's a kind of this damp fog as well that's kind of drifting across this area. It's chilly. There's kind of, you can smell cooking from somewhere. At least you assume it's cooking. It smells like meat that's being roasted or something anyway. And as you're kind of making your way through the streets, you kind of feel that you can hear these kind of hushed whispers. And when you look around, there's nobody there. It's just an empty street. Maybe there's a couple of people hurrying backwards and forwards from their apartments with clutching something in their hands as they rush across the street to get to their houses and safety.
Casper will probably get on top of the rooftops and find like a vantage point where he can observe the main street.
Yeah. There are plenty of tall buildings in this area.
And he'd probably just scout out the area for several hours.
Okay, so you're going to climb up onto the rooftops. Nicholas.
I'm going to first of all case the place from ground level and then climb up, case the upper levels with the strange assistance of a certain member of our crew. We can all see the ghost echoes, so I'm also looking for anything in the ghost field, any sort of alternate routes or any alarms that will be set in the ghost field that I would notice.
Yeah. It's quite an old part of town. I mean, it's nowhere near as old as Charterhall, but it's it's quite old and well-established part of town. There will be plenty of echoes of um, of the previous incarnations of some of these buildings. So you are fairly confident that you will find something. You just need to find the right house. That's your kind of deal right now. So it's fairly. You're pretty confident that if you needed to, you could probably find doors into places that you need to get. And yeah, I forgot to mention that to you, didn't I? Infinity about the.
Just a little bit.
That's what you get for missing staff meetings, mate.
Yeah, sorry. Just like we can see ghosts.
Yeah. Yeah, ghosts are quite a big thing in Blaze in the Dark. And ghosts are not just necessarily the spirits of people. They're also the echoes, if you like, in the ghost. This thing called the ghost field, which you can all perceive, which they can sometimes show like buildings that have been demolished and then built on top of. In the ghost field, those old buildings can still exist, and you can still utilize doorways and alleyways that are there because you've got a very special funky little ability called Ghost Echoes, which allows you to see all this stuff.
Okay.
So it's not just people that have ghosts in this game. It can also be the city itself. So I think what we'll do then, if I could get both of you survey rolls, if you like.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe it's going to be controlled as well right now.
Yep.
With standard effect. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. From your perch, as I say, Nicholas, you have no difficulty negotiating the streets. You can see there are plenty of twisting alleyways round the back of these buildings that will all very easily serve as escape routes if you should need to. And at Casper, as you're surveying from higher up,
Yeah.
I guess you're in one of the buildings, perhaps opposite, and you're on the roof there. And as you're kind of just checking the area out, just much like Nicholas, you're looking for these escape routes or ways of egress or whatever, and almost by accident you kind of see this particular individual who seems to be shuffling around on the top floor of his house. You don't know Leitch. You don't know him at all, but this fellow, he seems to be holding some items. One of them appears to be a small kind of book. You can't quite tell what it's made out of. And it only flashes out in your view for a moment as he opens what you can see is a very, very large looking strongbox or safe.
Yep.
It's built into a wall. And he turns this little dial on it and swings a large round kind of handle. Then this big thick door opens up and he drops a few of these items inside before locking it again. And you get this sneaking suspicion that you may have just found your man.
Does he... I take it he locks it with a key, or is it a combination safe? Can I tell?
I think it's it's going to be both.
By any chance, have I got a good enough view on the combination when he opened it to actually see what the combination might be?
I think that would be. That might be a little bit too much, but it was a good roll. It was a good roll.
Does he leave at any
I
point?
think you probably. I think you probably get some of it, but you do see that he takes the key, this large brass key.
Yep.
And it's on a thong. He hangs it around his neck and drops it down the front of his shirt.
Does he leave at any
He's
point, or
quite
does he
a-
stay in the flat?
He shuffles out of that room, and then you lose sight of him.
Okay.
But he's quite a. He's a very diminutive-looking fella. Quite. It's got a short, kind of close-cropped hair, grey hair. And he doesn't look like he would be a physical threat.
Okay. I'd probably take note of the building and the floor in like a little scrapbook, and the time that I saw him
Yep.
and everything.
Yeah. What was it you were specifically interested in finding, Nicholas?
Primarily entrances that aren't the front door, if there are any.
Yeah.
Windows, any entrance from the roof, and then after that, ways we can get out of here, which
Yeah.
I'm thinking most likely is straight north towards the Saltwater.
Yeah, there's, like I said, there's quite a lot of twisty little alleyways in that block. At the backs of a lot of these houses, these 3-story townhouses, they all kind of have like a at the rear. There's like a basement, that some steps that lead down to like a basement level. And you think that would be no difficulty for some of your less capable climbers in your group to utilize if they needed to. You obviously, you can scale any of these buildings. You're going to have no trouble with any of them whatsoever. You just need to know what floor you need, basically.
All right.
Okay, so our other three, Solomon, Ashlyn, and Slip. You are all making your way to Crowsfoot, are you not?
Yes. I love this place. Full of scourge and villainy.
It is. And that is definitely the reputation that Crowsfoot has. It is probably the area of Duskwall that has the most number of gangs and gang members per square foot than any other part of Duskwall. It is the district that is pretty much controlled by the street gangs.
I can't quite decide if it's better or worse than the docks.
Slightly less salty, perhaps.
And it's quite easy for you to get there. You don't have. It's not too far from your base of operations. But you get some looks as you kind of walk across Taffeta Bridge, onto Bridge Road, Limmer's Park to your left and right. There are a number of kind of street toughs that are kind of just hanging around on some of the street corners, leaning against the railings of Limmer's Park as you kind of approach, and they kind of eye you. There's one of them decides to risk a wolf whistle at Ashlyn because he's an idiot, and they're all kind of just looking at you guys and just sizing you up to seeing whether or not they could take you. Slip looks pretty intimidating, I guess. Does he try to intimidate these guys in any way, or does he just ignore them? I mean,
so I am talking to Solomon, Ashley, just talking to them keeping walking forward, but my peripheral vision in my mind is entirely trained on their position. But I am ignoring them.
Oh,
They
okay.
think I'm attempting to look like I'm ignoring them, but I'm actually keeping them.
Yeah.
Where are they? Are they just on the side of the road, or are they like on
Yeah,
a?
just kind of. They'd just be
scaffold or
kind of
something?
leaning against the railings of the park there. You can kind of see this kind of
Yeah.
overgrown, these kind of low bushes of the park kind of just poking through the fence behind them. These kind of sickly looking plants.
Solomon.
And they're just kind of looking at
Sadly,
and kind of nodding. And as I say, one of them is kind of wolf whistling a little bit. And you get the old, all right, love. All right. We can show you a better time than them, lads.
Ashlyn, if there's one thing you've taught me, pick your fights. This isn't one of them.
Yeah. Sadly, my one thing I can do that I know would put these guys out of our minds would probably cause us too much heat in this district.
They're
I just
kids.
glare at them.
Yeah.
Don't even give them the time of day.
Yeah, if we see them again, it means that they've somehow managed to survive their incompetence and maybe worthy of note.
So you cross the river over the Crow's Bridge and then turn up towards the Lampblack warehouse. You can see this structure. It has a wrought iron fence all the way around the outside of it, and there's a large courtyard. You can see a few people milling around. There are old sacks of coal that are just kind of piled up over in one corner, not much use to anybody now. And a couple of these guys are kind of just sitting on top of them. They seem to be drinking beer and laughing and joking. Some of them are playing cards. You kind of wander into the courtyard. There's a couple of big heavies that are kind of standing at the main entrance there, watching.
I go up to them. I've been here before. They know me.
Hmm.
Is he in?
They kind of look at each other and smile. Reckon he might be, miss.
Can we go up?
Well, I'll better check with Mr. Pickett first, if you don't mind.
Waste your time going upstairs, but I'll wait.
No offence, miss, but, all the same. And he disappears inside, and this other guy just kind of stands there looking at you.
How you getting on then?
Right.
Seen you for a while.
Hi, miss. Busy.
Busy. Has I been busy? Basho. It's always gonna be Bazo.
Always busy, miss.
It's like whatever he wants you to call him, whatever you want to call him.
How's it going with the red sashes?
He spits.
Yeah, well, it's a shame not all Iruvians see things as clearly as some of us. Don't hold it against us.
It's like he just suddenly realizes, what, you're fucking Iruvian? And he takes a step back. Looks kind of nervously at the other two. And the door swings open again, and this other fella, the first one, he kind of sticks his head out and says, this way.
I just go.
You're led up into the main building, up into it's like a reception hall, if you like, up a flight of stairs. It's kind of oak panelled around the outside, but it's kind of worn and faded. It probably would have been quite grand at one point. And there's a grandfather clock that's kind of ticking away in one corner. and the door kind of swings open as you cry. You don't even get a chance to sit down in one of the seats that's kind of arrayed in this area. And you see Basho standing there, and he's just wearing his shirt sleeves with a waistcoat that's unbuttoned. And he kind of licks his hand and slicks back his hair. Well, well. What a surprise, he says.
She suddenly changes.
Okay.
Basho! Oh, I haven't seen you for so long. And I run up to him. And obviously the guys haven't seen me do this. And I give him a big cuddle and go, oh my God, are you so well? It's been an age. And I drape myself over him.
Wow. I wasn't expecting you to come on that strong, to be honest. Right. And he's almost a little bit embarrassed, I think, with this show of affection. And perhaps you would want to come in, sit down. You had an easy trip over, did you? From where is it again?
Oh, just over the side of town. You know, a lady keeps her secrets.
Yeah. And he kind of then becomes aware of Solomon and Slip kind of standing behind. Oh,
they're my friends. You know, you can't walk through town without having some kind of protection these days.
oh, very wise. But you know, I could offer you that. Told you before.
I don't need that. I know you want to help me. But I'm totally independent. But my friends here have got a few questions. Someone's asked us for a job, and I knew that you would be able to give them the answers. Oh, I bought you some wine. And I pull out my bag about a bottle of wine that I'd pinched from
But
the
you
guy
know
before.
that he's a whiskey drinker, Ashlyn.
But
you've got him
whiskey
wine.
Then. Whiskey then. Said whiskey. They'll have nicked from somewhere.
Okay. He kind of takes it. He kind of looks at the bottle, and you see him almost. He tries to hide it, but he winces when he looks at the label, and then just kind of sets it down on the desk. Right. So, what is it that old Basho can help you with then? Hey.
Gentlemen?
Have we met Basho before then with Ashlyn?
I don't know. I mean,
No.
I think you've said that you like him. I assume that you probably have. You may be
We know of him.
acquainted with him, but
Yeah,
maybe
through other
you're not
means,
necessarily
yeah.
friendly with him.
Basil, it's good to finally make your acquaintance. I've heard very good things about you, including your taste of whiskies, but perhaps that one will keep a lookout for something made with the real malts next time. See what we can do.
He arrays a couple of glasses on his desk. He holds up the bottle that Ashlyn has just given him, then looks across at the three of you, and then puts it down before going behind him. And he opens up a cabinet, a locked cabinet, the key that he keeps in his waistcoat top pocket. He swings open this heavy wooden door, and inside are rows and rows of bottles of whiskey. And he almost goes to put this bottle in. It kind of stops and then puts it back on the desk before reaching in and taking something else out. And he pours drinks.
Drinks from the thing he pulled out, or from the bottle?
Yeah,
that's on his desk?
no, the one on the desk. No, that one.
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's left that on the desk. He's taken the bottle out and he pours these 4 glasses out, and hands them out to you. Any friend of Miss Claremont? It's a friend of mine.
That's good to hear.
You say you want to know something?
But we're doing some. We're investigating a fence over in 6 Towers. Just Cedric Bates. Well, if you've had any dealings with him or had any word on the street from your end.
Fence? 6 Towers? I wouldn't use them myself. What's he done?
Got himself in too deep.
Bought the wrong merchandise.
Well, it is a shame. Merchandise, eh?
Yeah. Would you believe it? A book.
Book's not much use to anyone.
We've been paid coin that says otherwise. We just want to get it back to the rightful owner.
Yeah, we don't care so long as someone it's got value to somebody. I mean, if worst comes to worst, we could also help you guys out. You got any of those spare stashes lying around? Sure, we could also leave some around while we're doing our investigating.
Well, I like your thinking.
Harder for someone to fight a battle on 2 fronts. This else we could rouse up over there.
Tell me about this book.
I mean, we don't know too much about it, really.
Who wants it?
The final destination has been kept from us. Our contact has made sure of that, however. Almost certainly someone from the Hive.
Yeah, you don't want to go fucking with those guys.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah. The friends. The new friends and not fucking anyone else.
Right. And this fence, who is he?
That's what we're trying to find out.
Well, you got a name or what?
What? Cedric Lage.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I had
I'm
mentioned
feeling
before,
we
I made
need
it
to do
specific.
some kind of role here, I think.
Yeah.
Who's going to be doing this?
It's not really my forte.
I can do consort.
You can do both, can't you? You can do sway and consort, can't you? Okay. Remember, you can assist each other.
Yeah. I remember how to do that. Because, I've got sway, so it's dealing with someone I don't know, which would be this guy. I've got a point on that, but there's probably people that are better diplomat. I mean, I could help them out.
Yeah, I mean, you could get. Oh, I need you to kind of tell me what it is you're doing, as opposed to kind of just gonna roll. It's more a case of what is it you're saying to this guy, and how are you trying to get this information from him? It's that really before we describe how.
Yeah.
We mechanically do it.
I had asked if he had any dealings with him. I think he just heard fence rather than the name. Just if he's had any dealings with him, because then we could potentially find out how big a name this fence is. He may because
Yeah, I mean, I just
nobody.
think that the gangs will kind of protect who their fences are, I guess, to a degree. This is my thinking. and so it isn't
Yeah.
necessary that he's just going to want to give up information
Yeah.
about offence. But so I'm just wondering how it is you're trying to wheedle this out of him.
If it's not
someone you deal with, maybe it's someone the Red Sashes deal with. Putting him out of business would be a bit of a benefit to you, I think.
If not the Red
Okay.
Sash, is one of their allies, maybe.
Yeah. So this sounds like, yeah, you're attempting to manipulate him in some way. Is this?
Yeah.
We're going with. Are you trying to sway him?
is he a well-connected friend, given that Ashlyn
Consort. Yeah.
knows him?
I mean, yeah, you're wanting to use consort on him. Is that the deal here?
Try and use
'cause
the
remember, it's like,
connection.
the more we know him, the less I can use sway.
Yeah.
It's a problem. Like,
it's
it
not
moves
quite.
it
It's
up
not.
the track.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
that rigid. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't worry about that too much. So I would say, yeah, I would allow that. And you can push yourself for 2 stress to take a bonus die if you want.
Could I get help as part of a?
I think you
that's-
probably could.
Yeah.
Get, yeah. I mean,
How does
there's
that work?
two of them,
Do I take 2 stress and he gets a dice? I can't remember how that works.
It's something along
Helping.
those lines, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we know that because it's right here somewhere. Boy, kindly drop something in the chat.
Discord, yeah.
That was it. Which was, yeah, assist. Take 1 stress. You give another player 1d.
Yeah, I'll do that to help you out.
But you might also suffer the consequences of the roll.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than me rolling a 1d6 straight.
So you take 1
so
point
that-
of
yeah.
stress.
Yeah, so I think because we're kind of working him over.
Okay, position controlled.
Yeah, I'd say it's controlled. he's friendly to you at the moment.
Effect standard.
Yeah.
Make us proud.
5.
Nice.
Yeah. He says, yeah, I've heard of him. Where he's clumsy. I believe he's also connected to a number of other gangs in the area. Maybe some that you know. The Wraiths, maybe.
Which ones are they?
Yes,
one
but
you-
it's probably them what stole it in the first place.
Friends of yours?
That's my business, isn't it?
I don't want to come between the two of you.
And I look at Ashlyn and I don't want us to come between the two of you.
Well, the thing is, Miss Claremont, is that well, much as you like to imply that we are friends, Miss Claremont, friendship is not just one person constantly doing favours for another.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. Well. Yeah. Did you want to say that again?
I just can't remember what I said now.
Well, perhaps maybe you will be able to do Basho a favour at some point in the future then.
No, I'm always there to help you if I can.
Well, I've got things to be doing now, I'm afraid. Gentlemen, Miss Clement.
Everything we need, gentlemen.
You probably haven't actually, have you? What's it wanted to know?
I don't really know what was that. Or what the answer is.
We want to know. We wanted to know about this book, didn't we? Whether he'd heard about it, whether he's heard anything about it on
Yeah.
the street.
Well,
whether
he
it's
knows that,
involved.
yes, and he did. He knew who he suspects took it. And he said it was the Wraiths that took it. He would probably elaborate. He would say that he's heard that guy, Leitch, has dealings with the Wraiths, amongst others.
So I turn to him and say, "So this book, see, somebody wants it. But why do they want it? Do you know what this book is? Have you heard anything? They're going to a lot of trouble for this book."
Well, this is the first I've heard about a book. I did hear that the Wraiths pulled a heist just a couple of days ago. Some brothel. In Night Market it was. No mention of a book though.
Interesting. So you think it's the Wraiths?
They probably took it.
You like the Wraiths?
Was there any dealings with them?
Okay then. If we upset them, you're still not going to be upset with us.
I don't give a fuck.
Good then.
Well, perhaps you and me we could arrange a little business meeting.
You know, you only have to ask. And I get up and walk out, drink the whiskey, and go. You just have to come and find me. And I just walk out the door.
I can have asked several times.
I'm gone.
It's actually really hard to get.
All right.
But you know, follow your heart, my friend.
That's my advice.
Yeah.
Okay, so you head back to your lair. Do you meet up back there, the four of you? Is it four or five of you?
Yeah, for that initial action.
Five of you.
Because also we know that, because also now we have the idea of the Wraiths, we can also find out who their rivals are in 6 hours. Because the Dimmers might be against them if they're a significant gang. So that's another angle of inquiry if we ever get to talk to them.
Yeah, that's a good point. Wonder how they feel about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I
we
said,
probably should.
If the guy does leave, though, because we'd probably be there for a few hours. If the guy would leave at my Casper,
you would have been there.
Yeah, Casper would follow him.
I mean, it was. It's quite late in the day. It was probably the early hours of the morning. By the time you after you've been sat there, it's probably about like the equivalent of 4 a.m. or whatever.
Yeah.
By the time you've surveilled the area to your satisfaction, you've seen this guy, you've seen him lock this thing away. He doesn't appear in that room again, and you watch for several hours afterwards.
Yeah. So I think we'd probably stay there for the most of the day and then head back after.
Okay. So how long are you going to stay there for then?
I think we'd stay there for like the day.
Whole day?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a long time,
Yeah.
man.
We're
It's a long
surveying the
time.
area, so like Casper will be keeping a track of like times of things passing by to try and find like an opportune window.
Okay. Nicholas, what would you be doing during this time? Are you hanging around with this loser?
Pretty
Wow!
much. I scouted out the routes, scouted out the entrances and exits. I climb back up to see what Casper's doing, and he's just staring at the streets. I'm
He
just going to
seems to
find
be.
a corner and fall asleep.
Okay. So I guess at some point you're going to need to sleep too.
Yeah, so if Casper gets tired, he'll just kick Nicholas and be like,
You take watch.
your turn.
Why are we even staying here? We know everything we need to know. We might as well go back and get the others. The longer we stay here, the more chance there is of the book moving. Or you can go to sleep and I can sit in that corner and watch the street. And the book might move. And then we've lost all the information we have.
How can the book move if you're watching it?
So if the book moves, you want me to go after it on my own?
Well,
While
it
you're
would be
sleeping in
nice
the
if
corner
you would
there.
wake me up. If
I'll
you want to
consider
go
it.
back and tell the others, that's fine. We'll go back.
There's very little purpose for us to be here staring at the street. The longer we stay here, the more likely it's a surprisingly good time.
If we stay too long, we'll end up with a cold.
Yeah.
The longer we stay here, the more likely it is that circumstances change. The book moves, he hires more guards, someone else comes for this.
We don't even know if we saw the book. I think I did.
Well, if
You
we're
are.
inside, we know.
Fine. Let's go get the others. Tell them what we know.
Alrighty then. Shall we take a quick break now then?
What,
Would that
before we
be-
go on the job. Woohoo!
I think so. I think so.
Yeah. Before we go on the job, could I do just have a
Oh
reach
yeah,
out
you
to
wanted
the-
to speak to the
the-
Dimmer sisters, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So
Okay,
we can
okay.
deal with that. We'll have a quick break. Deal
Yeah.
with that, and then
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
hit the place.
Yeah.
Do
yes.
the dimmers.
Cool.
Nice.
All right. We shall take a break.
We'll be
Tea
back
time.
in a few
Yeah.
minutes, chat. Bye.
Adios. Deep fried syrup sandwich. Scottish tradition. 2021. I'm gonna make it big.
We're taking it back, folks.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Excellent.
Always the
There was
professionals.
food conversation
We'll
in the
just
break.
get
It
straight on with
devolved.
it, shall we?
Boy just had some really
But
nice
it-
toast, and I wanted it.
Until she found out it
Yeah.
had honey on it.
Yeah, he put honey on it, and then he ruined it.
Yeah, she thought it was Marmite. It was honey.
Bee vomit on
Yes.
toast? What's wrong with that?
Yeah. But that's the thing. What you should do is just you have a one-liner that you open up from the break, like mid-conversation, because then everyone will be like, "Oh, this is a mystery," and hopefully they'll let slip on what happened that led to this time. Like,
And we
what
would never
until you watch
mention
the
it
stream.
again.
Yeah.
Nobody could listen to our pre, mid, and after conversations. Those people that have
I
been
mean-
witness to it know that it's just.
I mean, the rest of us have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome back. We're gonna get straight back into it, guys. So
Well, not quite straight back into it.
But I into
We're
the
gonna talk
dark
about-
now.
All right, Governor. Yes. So, we've had two members of our crew scoping out Relic Street, Relic Lane. I can't remember. One of those. And they have discovered the location, perhaps, or what they believe to be the location of one Cedric Leach. And just as a recap, we've been employed, our crew have been employed by a man known as Emrys Boyle. And I forgot to show his picture earlier, so we're going to do it now. And he has employed them on behalf of a third party to retrieve a map book of some kind from a fence in the area known as Six Towers, the district known as Six Towers. And two of our crew have discovered the location of the item. And the other members of our crew have discovered that it was actually originally stolen by another gang called the Wraiths. Yeah. Nice. So where are we going, folks? What's the deal? We wanted to go see the Dimmer Sisters next, I believe. That was the
Yep.
next on
Yeah.
the agenda.
With any luck, the Braves are on their hit list.
Yeah.
We can only hope.
Yeah, hope.
Yeah. It's like we hate them, but inexplicably we hate you more
makes sense.
because we're
So-
a matriarchal organization.
You make your way across towards Six Towers, which is where you know that the Dimmer Sisters operate. Actually, it's a good point. Do we know where the Dimmer Sisters operate?
We might be able to find out their neighborhood, I guess. Depends how much I know about them through the occult circles.
Yeah, I've got a sneaky
mean-
suspicion you would probably know, wouldn't you?
Or at least
Um,
know the right kind of area to ask questions.
Yeah, I think that would be fairly easy. So you know that they have, they live in a small house in an area known as the Twins, which Six Towers is just here.
We were looking. Oh, Big Tower.
Right? Did you not see that?
Ah, there we go. Yeah, I had Emery's face in the way.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, okay, so they're right in the middle.
And you can find their house relatively easily. Once again, you notice, much as Nicholas and Casper noticed when they came in, the fog kind of closes in around you. In fact, let's have a little bit of fog. It kind of closes in around you as you enter this part of the town. Air seems to get chillier. You get the feeling of being watched from some of these abandoned mansion houses. Their gardens all overgrown and tangled with these sickly-looking bushes and trees. And then you make your way across to the Twins, and You see this small house set amongst the these kind of other edifices around it. And strangely, this one, it looks surprisingly well tended. Garden is well kept. The trees and the plants that are in there, they seem to be thriving. There's a fence made of, once again, raw iron. The gate that swings open easily as you kind of push on it. It doesn't even squeak, it's well oiled. Path leading up to the front of the house, which is slightly less grand than the ones that are kind of standing next to it, but in much better state of repair.
Yeah,
There
it's
is
low
smoke
key.
circling up from the chimney above it, and there are lights in the windows that let out a glow which unsettles you for some reason.
It's
Nice
like
of-
familiar. See, the too familiar glow of ghostly shenanigans.
Nice of you to invite us back to your parents' house, Solomon.
I say with
Ooh, that's a bit of a low blow, Slip. But regardless, I wouldn't want to make your parents jealous. Not everyone's good enough to have a house, let alone able to keep hold of it after they've bought it. I'll just politely go up and knock on the door.
Okay. And it's kind of a quaint-looking wooden door. It's on the front of the house. You knock. I mean, bearing in mind that it is the early hours of the day right now.
Yeah.
Probably like 3 a.m.
Oh, is
something
it?
along those lines.
Oh, I thought it was a bit later on. Sorry. I would have come during like daylight hours.
Well, we can if
Yeah.
those guys are going to be watching for a little while, we can say it's the morning. It's 8 a.m. of the next day, if you like.
Yeah, that'd be better.
Yeah, I mean it's always dark anyway. It makes no difference. So
I can just imagine this here, like Nicholas running up, short of breath, book under one arm, like the police chasing after him. It's like, guys, we gotta run. No time to explain.
you knock politely on the door. You wait for several moments before the door swings open slightly. Like this crack in the door. It's dark
Yeah.
beyond there. You can't see too much, but you have this feeling you're being observed. And you hear a voice. What do you want? Female voice.
Yeah.
Deep.
My name's Solomon. I was hoping to have a word with one of the sisters. Like this would be like quiet,
Yeah.
and like in a similar sort of whispered tone. We're investigating one of the fences in 6 Towers. He's got some. I was hoping to find your disposition towards the Wraith. I know they kind of operate nearby, and they stole something my client would rather
Your
take
client?
back, but I was, yes, someone across the city. We don't really know too much about them, but the pay is well. But I was wondering, as a sign of courtesy, given this is your territory, I wouldn't want to come in unannounced and do anything that may upset yourselves. But you are more astute and
That's
your knowledge
very-
and skills with the occult and the arcane are much higher, like much more worthy of respect than the average gang rebel that you see around parts of the city. So, knowing that they are a fence for the Wraiths, I was wondering if perhaps I wanted to make sure that they weren't one of your trusted associates, this Cedric Lee. And perhaps if they weren't, and you wanted us to perhaps hassle one of your enemies, perhaps they could
I feel you're using an ability here. Or an
probably
action.
sway. Yeah,
Yeah?
sway.
I think you're trying to sway them with your slick
Yeah.
words and your
Yeah, I'm trying to be polite. Like, it's
flattering
genuine,
them
but yeah,
a little bit,
yeah,
aren't
like,
you?
I don't know. I think it's actually genuine, but still, it's like, yeah, it's whether they believe it or not.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it still counts.
Yeah.
It's kind of a form of flattery that you're using.
Yeah.
it seems to me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that kind of counts. I mean, if you're happy to roll
Yeah, it'll be
sway, or
sway.
did you?
Yeah, I'll go for
Okay.
sway. What would you say? Position risky, or is it safe,
Um,
controlled? I don't know.
I think, given the nature of these people, this may be risky.
That's fine. Effect standard.
If they take offence,
Yeah,
then it could be potentially serious.
yeah.
Okay, is this?
And what can I do for? Is it 2 stress for 1 extra dice? Just to be,
You could take 2 stress if you wish to push yourself in some way.
Yeah.
Be extra charming or something. I don't know.
yeah, because I
you-
think like I feel like there would be someone that I would like to keep on good terms. So like, I'm wanting to hopefully be able to like the idea I want to convince them of is basically like if we heist this guy, I could either get something for them that they would launch for like their rituals or whatever,
Okay.
or something that would disadvantage their rivals like the wraith, through implication or just robbery. And then so that's what I'm aiming for. But like I would really want to try and make a good impression. That I think I would
Right.
be pushing it.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2 stress to do that.
I hope these stress points aren't too hard to get rid of.
You have to
Yeah.
indulge your vice for that.
Yeah.
Right. So
So I have to,
let's see what happens. I mean, there's always a devil's bargain as well.
Yeah. It's not quite.
Which is a
Oh.
mechanic that we've not used
Yeah.
yet. It's basically there is something there will be a consequence that will happen
Yeah.
regardless.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not that desperate just yet. I'll see how
No,
that.
I don't know if there's anything that would be suitable here. So let's see
Yeah.
what happens.
Fingers crossed. No.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's really annoying.
The door shuts with a soft click.
Well, that was unfortunate.
There seems to be something. The garden suddenly gets darker, it feels to you.
Yeah. I think we're no longer welcome here. We should make a move. So we'll make to leave.
Okay.
Because that's the thing. Yeah. So that's yeah. We just have to. I'm just going to operate on the assumption that if they didn't, if it had been one of the, like if they'd recognized the name, I would imagine they would have said something. So if they didn't, I'm going to assume that it's an enemy fence. So I might be able to like leave them a token after the fact, but
Okay.
anyway, to follow through on my words, if they don't believe it, I'm taking it as a sign that they don't believe me. So like yeah, if I could still, I'll still try and see if I can find something that I can use as like a token of respect or whatever. That I
Sure.
like, as I was saying, so that they know that I was telling the truth, even though they didn't buy it at the
Yeah.
time.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think we should just get out of the garden before it gets too bad. And then we'll just have to go on with what we have.
And
Is unfortunate.
as you're making your way up the path, as I say, things seem to kind of get a little darker. Is anybody with you?
I think Slip was because he
was Slip
made a comment.
and-
Because he made a
Yeah.
comment.
You
on
actually.
it.
Okay, so
What does study do again? I can't remember. A tune, maybe. I can't remember what these skills do.
a tune is for messing with the ghost field, isn't it?
Yeah,
in that
but I was
regard.
wondering if because it feels like something supernatural is going on, so I was wondering use it for that. But then Yeah.
Yeah, and no, there is definitely you feel something supernatural going on, and you kind of feel like the shadows of the bushes and the trees that are that line this garden path as you make your way up seem to kind of be coalescing, and it kind of looms over you, and you kind of feel this sudden chill, and you're suddenly terribly afraid. And I don't really know what it could be. You're going to take a level 1 harm for this. And yeah, it's only a level 1 though, because it's early days. I'm not quite sure. I think it's going to be. We just described this as psychic drain. I think, perhaps, as you kind of feel this. So if you just like that first box on your level 1 harm, and that will give you an effect now, and you'll have a issue when you come to make rolls for anything. That will have an effect on you. You'll have less effect, I think it is, or something.
Mm-hmm. That's slip as well. I've added that.
No, you don't slip. It doesn't affect you at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It just seems to be you barely even notice the shadows, but you can kind of see that Solomon, he starts trembling as you walk up this path, and he seems to be furtively glancing around at either side, and hurrying down the path faster than you would have seen. And it's usually cool customer that you deal with normally. He suddenly seems quite almost timid and frail, perhaps, as he hurries down the path.
Yeah, I easily match his step.
Mm.
Yeah, Lloyd.
Can I go for a tune? Because your tune you have, you could try and perceive beyond sight in order to understand your situation. Just to kind of understand what the effect is, I guess.
Okay. I mean, if you want to, you want to do that.
From the point where you would see it.
I don't even think you'd need to roll. To be honest, I don't think you'd need to roll. I think you would be very aware.
Yeah.
And perhaps as you clear the gate and you kind of look back, you see. You kind of see.
How does resisting work?
You would have to resist using one of your abilities, which would likely be resolve.
Resolve?
Yeah, if you click, it will cost you stress.
Oh, the actual thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it will cost you stress minus whatever you roll in that, and you're going to roll 2d6 because you've got the.
Oh,
first...
so you're replacing harm with stress. Okay, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
6 minus whatever I roll.
Yeah. It's up to you whether you want to take that risk or whether you want to take the harm or the stress. It's that's the gamble.
What is it? What does the harm do mechanically?
That harm is going to give you less effect. So whenever you attempt something, when it would be standard effect, it would be limited effect. Assuming it's to do with psychic stuff or supernatural.
Yeah.
So anytime you try to attune, until that is healed.
Okay. But only for a tune, or would that just be for everything?
Only for only stuff when you
like
doing
stuff
that involves the supernatural. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's unfortunate given my character. And I'll try to resist it because like having that at this stage of the operation could be quite detrimental going forward. So I need to roll resolve.
You click on resolve.
Yeah, risky, standard, 0 extra dice.
It just doesn't matter because we ignore
Just
those bits anyway. Yeah, it's just the number we're after.
5.
So you take 1 stress, and you can remove that harm.
Yes.
So effectively,
that was worth it.
This thing was coming towards you, and you could feel it.
Yeah.
You resisted it with your mental fortitude, and
But to like retcon the darkness closing in.
Yeah.
But you sort of see him so you see him buckle for a bit, but then push against whatever's wailing on him and just sort of standing tall.
Get out of here.
And he said, yeah.
Solomon, what did they say to you?
Nothing.
What's wrong then?
I think either they employ strange magic. Something we have to be aware of if we ever have to deal with him in the future.
That's your field for sure. But if you need anyone killing, let me know.
Well, I'd rather keep them on my good side.
Understood.
However, if we come across anyone from the Wraiths, feel free.
Really?
The worst, because they're the people that we're going to be robbing from anyway. So
Our speciality.
we might as well go in with a splash,
I look forward to
as
this.
they say.
Shall we get the gang back together?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you're all actually in
I
6
got a
towns, so you
plan.
could just go
Yeah.
and meet up in.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Yeah, we have to get there before our little friend does something rather rash. He's like, Nicholas, come back.
So did you say we're
Right.
going to meet over at these 6 towers? Or not 6
I
towers.
mean, if we're all in the district,
You're
so
all, yeah, you may as well.
Yeah.
we could meet up near somewhere.
Where are we going?
Yep.
You're going.
Up north.
Oh.
Oh, that was a cool little pinny pointy thing.
So, I'm assuming you're professionals. You have arranged to meet
Yeah.
somewhere at a particular time. So perhaps you are on a street corner, just round
Yeah.
from Relic Lane.
Maybe
there,
like
perhaps, and you-
maybe like the Postern Bridge, that kind of
yeah,
area.
yeah. So you kind of
It's 'cause
meet
it's
up on the
nearby-ish,
bridge.
but not anywhere too close.
Hmm.
And it's a landmark.
It's always a landmark. It has to be a landmark.
Casper, did you sort out a route into his house?
That was Nicholas's.
No, Casper was watching, wasn't he, or Nicholas?
Oh, okay.
We both kind of went.
They both were, in their own way.
I think we know where this guy is. There is a little complication though. I think he's keeping the book in a safe. Needs a key, which I believe he's wearing around his neck. And it needs a combination, which I haven't got a clue how we're gonna get, apart from beating it out of him.
So we can't just kill him then?
Oh, Croy.
Well, luckily he's not too physically luckily he's not too physically intimidating. So if we can get him and we can get him quiet, we can probably find a way to convince him to help us retrieve the logbook.
As much as it pains me, we can't just go around killing people. But that doesn't mean we can't
Kill people.
beat it out of them.
We could.
So long as
Talk
it's
to him.
not too obvious permanent damage,
Well,
it's fine.
be better if he couldn't see us. And then we can just, choke him out, hang him upside down.
I'm only proficient in killing. One of you will have to torture.
I'm happy.
My
Torture.
pleasure.
Holy shit! I got dark quick, didn't it?
I mean, I haven't even got the chance to suggest getting him possessed by a ghost and making the ghost open the safe for us. But
Oh yeah, good idea. Why don't we think of that?
limited in physical harm.
Now we're going
mean, I
for the
did.
torture treatment.
That's what we
Yeah.
do.
Yeah,
Well-
we'll see how the torture works first before we deal with the supernatural.
Yeah, because the supernatural will affect all of you.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
if you like, could everyone wait outside so they don't get frightened?
Come on, let's move.
All right. So,
We may want to wait till nighttime now.
well, it's always
It's always
nighttime in
night.
this
Yeah.
world.
Like
Yeah.
proper nighttime.
Proper nighttime. Nighttime. I mean,
Because the thing is, you have the,
I mean, you've
because you
got-
do get
you've
the
got
glimmer.
that.
You get the glimmer at dawn and dusk, and we're kind of at like
You do. You do.
dawn.
Yeah, that's
so,
true.
Yeah. So it's not. Yeah, like we can just have to wait a little bit at least for that to die down.
Yeah. So you wait until the evening. Is that the plan then? You kind of
Yeah. Well, however long till dawn ends in Duskwall.
yeah.
Then it'll go back to dark again.
We shall hand wavy that. Yeah. And you find yourselves arrayed somewhere along the alleyway on Relic Lane.
Is there like any fire escapes up to his?
It's a very narrow alleyway. There are ways onto the roof for sure. There are ways onto the roof that Nicholas would have no issue with whatsoever. But probably a number of you would not struggle too much with it. There is also, as Nicholas discovered, there is an entrance into the basement of the building. There is an entrance into the front of the building through the front door. And there are numerous windows. It is quite a narrow building, kind of sandwiched between a bunch of others. 3 floors. Nicholas, you have any insight?
You should go into the basement, stay together if you plan to torture him. If I get in up there, I motion towards the window. I've got some time with the safe before you take the time it needs to do whatever you're doing. If I can get the book out, we don't need to leave any impact.
Well, you're gonna need the key one way or another, even if you can get the combination guessed.
I turn to the others and say, I have a trick that we may be able to use. And I pull out a little pouch. And it's a drug. I give him this. Make him not unconscious, but I can retreat him into a position of calm and suggestible state. Almost hypnotise him to tell us what the combination is.
If you can do that, I can get the key from around his neck without him even realizing.
Maybe just go up and go in, and maybe we might have to use force to make him take the drug, or persuade him to take a drink with it in. Or we go in heavy-handed. Which way?
If we're seen, it will lead back to us. If we can get in and out quietly without being noticed, well, if it goes wrong, I'll help you out. Just point me in the right direction.
Okay, so I guess at this point we're kind of deciding what type of score this is. Is this an assault? Is it deception? Is it stealth, occult, social, or transport? I have my ideas as to what it is.
I'm thinking it's going to go deception, because I can actually use sway, and if I use sway on somebody, I can actually then make them forget what happened. Or mesmerism.
Yeah.
So I could actually give him the drug. There's the obviously really typical way that you could do it, being a really attractive woman kind of thing, but it's a little bit obvious. And then give him the drug or whatever. Or we just go in and heavy-handed, hold him down, give him the drug. So it would be deception.
Or stealth. I mean, I was thinking, but with the way
yeah, I was thinking the way I sort of felt to build it up was just stealth.
I thought it was. It seemed to me that was the option. But I mean, you can approach it in a different way. But that's kind of what I thought it was going to be. But I mean, you have multiple options here, don't you?
Front door, basement,
Roof.
3-pronged attack, perhaps.
I'll go upstairs. I'll knock on the door. As he's answering the door, somebody can go.
Probably the safe was on an upstairs
Floor
safe,
one.
wasn't it? Floor 1. So
It's top
potentially
floor.
they
Floor 2.
Yeah. So what we
Was it floor 2?
yeah. So what?
Yeah, it was the top floor.
Yeah. So potentially, what we could do is, while she's doing that, we could start making an egress through the roof
Great
while
idea.
he's distracted, and then if it doesn't work, then
Let's
we're
go.
already inside the building, and if we need to be, we're in the building.
I'll go and distract him at the door.
I'll go
Okay.
into the basement.
All right. I'm still thinking this is stealth, personally. What do you
Yeah.
think, guys? Is that
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's stealth
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
okay? Now, Nicholas had managed to find the best ways in. So you will get a bonus dice on the engagement roll, I think, just for that. Any other things that anybody could think of that might give you a bonus dice? I mean, I suppose you could say,
We know where we're going.
Ashlyn. Yeah,
We know where the
Ashlyn
safe is.
also. Ashlyn, maybe as a distraction, might give you a bonus die as well. I mean,
yeah. Because we're also attacking going from different angles. We've got Ashlyn
Actually,
doing distraction.
yeah.
We've got a layout of the building. We know exactly where
Ashlyn
where
is a
the different
distraction.
parts
We
are.
don't know how that's going to go, I guess, so we can't really.
Yeah.
But we can certainly say we know where the thing is. So
Yeah.
I think that will probably give you a bonus die, certainly for that. So this is the only time that the GM gets to roll in Blades in the Dark, I'm afraid. It's the engagement roll. So we will be rolling 2 6-sided dice. Determine what position we start this little score in. Oh, you got to choose your loadout as well, guys. What is it you're going to be carrying? And this will determine what items. You don't have to
In
decide what those
player's kit.
items are, but you just have to decide whether you're going in with a light load, standard load, or a heavy load.
I only
That
have
will
a light
determine
load.
how many.
What do we load them in of? Items?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to load the items in yet because you just have to think
Yeah, it's
about
just-
what
it's-
load it is.
It's
Trying
like
to
your,
remember where they are.
it's basically it's like your the amount of like of overcomes you can do before you run out.
Which tab
So
is it in?
Load on the load tab,
Yeah.
the loadout tab.
I only have a light loadout.
Right.
No, you can go up to 5. That will be a heavy loadout. I think it's 5.
I can't find load. Items.
You don't have to add your items in. Remember, that with Blades, you don't add your items in. You just decide
Yeah, I
what
know. I
loadout
just wanted
you
to
have
find it so in
Yeah.
case I needed it.
Yeah.
Though this isn't it though.
and that's when, as you go through the game, you can decide what
What you
items
use in
you
on
have.
each point.
Because you're a professional, you would know what you would need for a mission like this, and so you don't have to decide right up front. You can decide during the score, which is nice.
Yeah.
Through items.
I think it would make sense to have light loadout at least because we were on we've
Can't
just
load
come from
anything,
like a
can't remember
diplomatic
how to do it.
mission.
You don't have to load anything in yet.
But when I do, I need to know where to find it, and I can't find it.
In the thing that says items.
Yeah, but under which bit? There's classes, career abilities, career reputation.
Items. The bottom, bottom, just above vices. Anyway, I'm going to roll an engagement roll, folks.
Go on then.
Say yes.
Oh dear!
Do you want to re-roll that?
I think you should
Um,
re-roll that.
Wait, is that bad for us or bad for you?
That is bad for you.
Oh.
It means that you start in a desperate position. It's good and bad. Because it means that whenever you make a roll now, your starting position will always be desperate. And when you make desperate
Shit.
rolls, you get XP points. Which is cool, but it does mean that if you fail, something very bad will happen.
Oh crap.
Could the
Okay.
GM take 2 stress and re-roll, please?
And so what I think, perhaps, what happens as you are surveying this building, you become aware that somebody is watching. They're watching from the rooftops as well, which is kind of weird. It's not like your average citizenry, I guess. Then there is somebody
no.
in the area who is aware of you and seems to be observing.
Do we all notice this?
Yeah. Well, I guess you will relate that to each other. Yeah. So there
Yeah.
is a figure somewhere up on the rooftops who you can occasionally spy in the moonlight there.
I wonder if the race are keeping an eye on their fence.
Right, turn to the others and go. Can we get up there and sort that out?
I'm on it.
If only we knew someone stealthy or stabby.
I'm on it. Casper will very quickly jump up onto the roofs.
Okay, so you're going to go and try and climb the rooftops to get up to where this guy is. Sure. Okay. What's everybody else doing? I'm thinking, Nicholas, you were trying to get up onto the roof, were you not?
Yeah, I was as
Okay.
well. Yeah.
Not if
you're
we're
all-
watching, my timescale's accelerating. I'm just going straight up there.
Okay, nice. Now, so it's not a particularly difficult climb, so I'm not going to start a clock for this one. It's not like a tower or anything. So I think
Yeah.
I just need to get. We just need to get. Do we have a class for 4 o'clock? Actually, maybe we should have a
Yeah.
clock.
Actually, I might go with what's his name?
Flip.
Flip.
Slip
just
down
with-
into the.
With Tinker, I can at least do some like lockpicking if we need it.
Yeah. Okay.
Whereas I figure the guys going up top are more the stealthy types, so they'll probably already be able to do something.
I took 2 knives.
Okay.
But it's fine. Doesn't really matter until you use them.
Okay, so 4 o'clock here, which is gonna be. That's for Nicholas, as he's going to ascend the outside of this building. Slip and Solomon are going in through the basement. Ashlyn is going to knock on the front door. Is that what I'm? Am I right?
Yep.
All right. Okay. And Casper, you're going to go and try and deal with the watching figure.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So who should we deal with first? I think let's first see how Nicholas does. You around the back of the building or around the front of the building when you're going to make this climb?
Most likely around the back, because I would
Okay.
have led Slip and Solomon to the basement entrance.
Yep.
Which I believe was around the back.
And there is a kind of a crooked drain pipe there, which looks a little bit worse for wear. Perhaps a little bit weak in a few places. You're fairly sure you can scale this, but it's a bit of a dodgy one. So, you're going to make your first roll. Going to be desperate and standard. Okay. You climb the outside of this. It will have reduced effect here, so you're not going to get all the way up, I think. So you also get to tick a little box on your character sheet, your experience in using. Actually, what skill did you use? Were you using to climb up there? What ability? Sorry. discuss that, didn't we?
I was using.
I'm thinking of Nicholas. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Nicholas, you were using. Oh, you were finessing. Finesse. Were you trying to be sneaky?
Sort of. I'm trying to get
Yeah.
up there quickly, really.
Okay. We'll go with that then. Let's go with finesse. But it's more like yeah. Anyway. Prowl tends to cover these things more. Tends to cover that kind of
That's fine. Your mic
athletic
cut
kind
out
of...
and I thought you'd said finesse, so that's my own fault. I can re-roll it.
No, you're absolutely fine. We'll go with that. Sure. Okay, so you probably get halfway up, I think, on that thing. So it's trickier than you were expecting, and you catch yourself on this rusted drain pipe as you're making your way up. It's kind of broken part way up, and as you kind of negotiate that bit, it catches on your clothing, and you hear this kind of tearing sound, and it slows you down as you try to make your way up. Also, I think it's going to cut you. 'Cause this was a desperate act. I think you are going to take a level 1 harm. And it's going to be... You're going to get a gash to your leg. You got a deep cut on your leg. Now you can resist that, remember?
Does this give him stress?
Yes. It'll be 2... well, it's however many straight. You roll the dice and it's 6
Ooh, what's
stress
that
minus...
clock for?
That's Nicholas climbing up the side of the house, isn't it?
No, I think I'll take the harm for now. I'd rather have
Okay.
stress available in case
If,
something goes
if the
wrong.
house always wins.
Sure. Okay. Slip and Solomon, you're going into the basement. So you're already around the back there. You've kind of come down these stone steps that have ended at a wooden door. What do you do?
After you. I try and open the door to let Solomon in, thinking it's going to be locked and that he'll need to pick it.
Oh, okay. It is locked. You can force it. Be more up slips.
And if
Three,
you not have
two.
pick lock?
He looks at his
Solomon?
He looks at his younger companion, knowing, or at least believing, that he's seen this kind of thing
Lloyd.
happen before.
Lloyd muted.
Yeah, no, I was just looking up the skill. The Tinker I would like to try and use for...
Oh, you want to do that? Okay.
Well, I don't know, I could study it first. I don't know if that would, would there be any benefit from, studying it, then trying to unpick it? Like with Tinker? Because, I don't know what the study
I
study...
don't know. Maybe give you a bonus die or something.
Yeah.
But
Try to do a study on the lock.
time is of the essence. We're in
Yeah,
a desperate situation. I don't know whether
Yeah,
you
that's a good point. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Alright, let's just try Tinker one dice and see what happens.
I mean, there are other ways.
So what exactly are we dealing with? Sorry, just to recap.
You're dealing with a door at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, Nemesis.
Instead of... Well, I just want to pick the lock, but no one will let me.
They are fighty
Yeah.
things, those doors.
We could try a different... Yeah.
Yeah,
Perhaps
okay.
a serviceable window.
I mean, yeah, you can. There are windows that you could attempt, but I mean, if you wanted to try and open this door, you wanted to do the...
I could try and at least write it out as an entrance. I mean, I don't know what else much I can do.
No, okay.
Will this change any of the roll stuff? The position, is that desperate?
No, your position will still be desperate.
Yeah, desperate. Okay. Effect standard. Nice.
Yeah.
We're
Okay.
going in, boys.
Excellent. Remember to put a tick in your.
Oh yeah, my character sheet
It's not
somewhere.
Tinker, is it? I can't remember what the ability is.
Insight.
Insight.
Insight,
Yeah, tick
yeah.
in Insight because it's a desperate roll. Nice. And there's a click.
Aren't all rolls
Door.
desperate at the minute because of that?
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
everybody's
but
getting
just accepting
XP.
the roll gets
Up
you
the
an XP.
wazoo.
Yeah. Doesn't matter if
Ashley,
it's succeed or not.
you're at the front door. You're knocking.
I am.
Alrighty then. After a moment or two, the door opens. There's a tall, thin figure, fairly smartly dressed, kind of standing there in the doorway.
And I fall on him, and I'm like, oh my god, you have to help me, they're chasing me, they're trying to get me, let me in, they're gonna get me, they're gonna kill me, let me in.
All right. What are we using here, madam?
Sway.
It sounds like sway to me.
Yeah.
Sure. Let's.
And I'm gonna stress.
You're gonna push yourself for a bonus die.
Yeah, so...
That's 2 points of stress.
Oh, so it's desperate.
It is desperate. Yeah. I think it's going to be standard effect.
Okay, so do I get 2 bonus dies?
You get one donut. One.
Where do I put the
you're on.
bonus die on? Oh, one plus 1d.
Yeah. Oh my
Critical.
goodness. And so, yeah, you've got you have your ick, by the way, but don't forget to put that in
On resolve.
and resolve. Yeah.
Yep.
And this fella, he looks down at you. My goodness, madam, quickly, come in. And he almost lifts you bodily into the house, and he looks out, surveying the area, and he shuts the door, and he's like, Adam, who is it? Who is it that is trying to harm you?
I don't know. There were some men, and they were chasing me because obviously I'm just a woman, and they wanted to do their way with me and kill me and mug me and take my money. Oh my
Not
god!
in that order, I hope. He leads you into the front room, and he sits you down, and he turns his back. He pours you a whiskey, and he says, "Madam, would you like me to summon the bluecoats?
No. Sit down. Get yourself a drink. Sit down.
Well, at least let me go and sorry, madam, I must inform the master of the house. He will want to do something about this, surely. This is terrible."
Yes. Bring him. You can fetch him. Obviously, I'm in his house, and I don't. Shit, I thought that was him. Shit.
The waiter is seduced.
Bugger. Well, I mean, anyway.
Okay, it's Casper.
Yes.
You need to try and find this figure. Is kind of flitting around. How are you going to keep track of this guy? What's the deal? How are you going to? He seems to be moving away now as you try to stop him,
I will.
jumping from rooftop to rooftop.
I mean,
You have something to offer here?
I mean, eventually he'll probably be so far away that we won't have to worry about him. So if you can make him go further and further away, that's fine. Unless he's just going in a big circle.
Casper will lift a part of his jacket.
Oh, okay.
Umbra.
We talked about this.
Follow
It's not
him.
kosher.
And yeah, something in the moonlight. It kind of shifts under. Well, I guess it's kind of almost next to you, isn't it?
Yeah.
As it does that, as you kind of lift your coat, and the shadow kind of is cast across the ground, the shadow kind of moves slightly, and out of. Well, it just looks weird because it doesn't seem to be part of you anymore. That shadow, and as it kind of moves away, it kind of glides almost across the floor and up along the building. In fact, it suddenly appears in bright moonlight as it moves its way quickly, rapidly up this building, and disappears over the roof. To give chase.
I will follow the direction it heads in.
Okay, are you sticking to the ground, or are you
Yes.
going to try and? Okay.
If I
So
get the
you-
opportunity to get up on the roofs, he'll take it, but otherwise he'll just follow it up from the ground.
Yeah, probably easier to stay on the ground at the moment, I think. So yeah, you run down the alley, moving in the direction that you saw this shadow, or your shadow head, and you pursue. How you get? I think I know how you would attempt to kind of, or what ability you would use.
I would hunt this character.
I think that would be just about right. And I think that is what you are going to do.
Yeah.
It's
I'm doing that as desperate, aren't I?
it is desperate at the moment. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Yeah. You catch a glimpse of this figure as it leaps across the roof, from roof to roof in the moonlight. And you chase down the road the street after it, tripping slightly as you emerge from the street. There's a slippery, wet part of the ground that you kind of slip on and lose your balance momentarily. You can just see this shadow, Umbra, moving across the rooftop, pursuing this person who seems completely unaware of it at this moment in time. You can see him looking down and peering down at you, and you can see him kind of as you slip.
Little does he know.
Nicholas.
That's right. Turns around with an even bigger shadow.
Yeah, you are making your way up this rusted drain pipe. You've already cut yourself. You know that's going to hurt in the morning, son. But you are carrying on your climb. I think at this moment in time, this is not going to be desperate anymore, because the person has moved out of sight, and Aishling's role, I think, is going to have some effect on everybody else and the alertness of anybody in the house. So this will be a standard, whatever it is you're going to attempt. It's still climbing?
Still climbing. I clearly wasn't paying attention earlier, going too quickly, so I will prowl.
Okay.
I'll take a bit more time about it.
And perhaps a little bit sneakier.
Perhaps a little bit sneakier.
Yeah.
Am I down to risky then?
I think this is risky. And it's going to be standard effect, but it will be affected by your bad leg. So it will be limited. So okay. You've obviously cut yourself a lot more than you thought. And you attempt to climb up this drain pipe, this next section of the drain pipe, but you kind of slip, and kind of don't really make much headway in that regard. So you're still kind of stuck, clinging to this drain pipe. Yeah. Aisling. You are aware this man running up the stairs, and you hear some voices.
While he runs upstairs, I go and grab another glass and put it on the table.
Okay.
I grab the whiskey and put 2 in, and I slip some of my powder into the one.
So this trans powder, you're saying it's something you add to drinks. It's not something you throw into somebody's face. It's more of a imbued kind of thing, is it? This is entirely up to you. I don't have any objection either way.
Well, yeah. I mean, I carry it around me, so I'm going to put a bit into the whiskey glass.
Okay. And moments later, there are footsteps coming down the stairs, and you can hear the man that you've just spoken to. He's kind of hurriedly saying that this young lady, she's come in. Apparently somebody's outside just trying to kill her. So she was very, very upset about the whole thing. I didn't know what to do, sir. I hope it's all right. And you hear another voice, an older voice, saying, "Yes, yes. Just calm yourself. Calm yourself, man. Let's go and see, shall we?" And then the door opens, and the guy, the tall fella that you'd spoken to, he kind of steps in. He looks kind of, with a concerned expression on his face as he kind of went, "Are you all right? Are you all right, madam?"
No, I'm not. I'm so scared. They might still be out there. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible situation.
And then the door is pushed open a little wider, and a smaller, kind of odd-looking fella, he kind of comes in behind him. He's kind of dressed in his night clothes, and he's looking a little bit bleary-eyed as he kind of wanders in. Now then, what's all this fuss about?
Kind of go over to him and sort of grab his hand and sort of like, thank you for letting me letting me into your house. I kind of like manoeuvre him while I'm doing it to sit him down near the whiskey glass.
Yeah.
And I'm going, okay, this is a terrible time. There's 3 men, they attacked me, they tried to grab me, but I managed to fight them off. But your house was the nearest house. And your good friend here, he let me in.
Yes, yes, Ogden. Well done. Thank you, Master Leach. I didn't know what else to do, sir. It just seemed the best course of... Of course it was, sir. Of course it was. Please, get the young lady a drink. Oh, yes, you already have.
Yes. Oh, hey, I'm sorry. It must be a shock having this. Have a drink yourself to calm your nerves. It's so clumsy. I'm going to have to swear, aren't I?
You probably were going to have to anyway.
I think you may have to. But before you do that, I think we're going to swing. We're going to swing across to our 2 guys in the basement. You've kind of entered into what looks like a kind of scullery area. A large porcelain sink, kind of up against one wall, to the left of the door, and it's kind of dark down there at the moment. There is a door directly ahead that leads into the rest of the house, and there's a door to the right, probably a pantry, you assume, and slightly further up on that wall there's also like another door which is kind of could be an office of some kind, maybe for the housekeeper.
You want
Where are you
to
going?
pocket something for later while we're here? Save something for like a celebratory meal. But we could try the office.
Okay.
Do we see any way up yet, or is it just?
Yeah, but there's just the door directly ahead, which kind
Yeah.
of leads into the rest of the house. You
Onwards and upwards, I guess.
Yeah, and that door kind of ends in
Yeah.
there's a short corridor beyond it, ends up in some stairs that lead up. And you can make your way up onto the third. By the time you get halfway up those stairs, you're already hearing some hurried voices, and you're aware that a light is now burning above, and you can hear Ashlyn's voice. She seems to be in some kind of distress from what you hear. And
The old girl's doing her trick.
there are two other voices, male voices, that are seem to be reassuring her, calming her down.
Do the stairs just sort of work their way up?
Yeah,
Or-
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Okay. We'll just sort of like, while she's keeping them distracted, we'll keep keep sneaking our way up.
Oh, I see what you mean. No, these don't
Yeah.
go right up to the next floor. Sorry, no.
Yeah.
As you kind of, when you reach the top of those stairs, you're on a hallway with a parquet floor.
Yeah.
And there is a set of stairs kind of leading up to the next floor, kind of to the left.
Across right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Directly ahead, there is a door that's open, and that's where the light's coming from, and these voices are coming from.
Can we see anyone, or is it just hear it?
You can see shadows of two
Okay.
people that seem to be kind of standing up. One of them is, you ascertain, is quite a tall, thin shape. The other one is slightly more hunched over, a lot shorter. There's and
The
you
tall
can kind
shape,
of
I
see
assume, is Ashlyn, and then the short guy would have been probably the mark.
It doesn't look like Ashlyn.
Okay, that's disconcerting.
Yeah.
I think perhaps we should make sure she hasn't got herself into further trouble. Because while we are here, they are just clearly around the corner, so we could go to her aid if necessary.
Yeah.
But we want to wait somewhere out of sight. So perhaps we wait till the floor above? I don't know. What do you
I go. I'm not saying anything at this point. I'm just going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could I lead an action in Prowl?
You can lead it. Yes, you certainly can.
Yeah.
I can't remember how to do
How
it.
does
But that's.
So I'll lead a group action.
You both roll, and somebody takes stress. That's the.
Roll for each character who participates in the group action. The best single roll counts as the action result, which applies to every character that rolled.
I have nothing, so I'll have to roll twice.
You get to roll. Yeah, you still roll that skill. It will roll 2 dice. It will take the lowest. Yeah.
Risky? Or are we still desperate?
I think this is risky at the moment.
Okay. What were you going to say?
Me?
Hmm.
I can't remember.
No worries.
Oops.
Ah.
Oh.
Balls.
We'll take the highest. What?
That's not how it works.
God damn it. No, but I was hoping he hadn't rolled yet and he was going to get higher.
So what is it that happens here then, folks? What is it that makes you fail this so monumentally badly? You are heard, clearly.
Yeah.
And perhaps as you climbed the top of those stairs and you are going to make your way down the corridor, that's when you notice the woman who's standing just to the side of the stairs. Obviously, she was some kind of a housemaid or housekeeper who has been listening to the commotion that's been going on and has come down, and she's standing there and she sees you and she screams.
Oh.
Yeah. And that's when we cut across to Casper, who is currently in a street. He can see this figure who's just basically dissed him. As he watched him slip.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think we need to change the music. So let's see what you're going to do about this.
This annoys Casper.
Really?
So he gets annoyed, and under his breath, he will say, "Umbra, kill him."
Oh,
No. Oh.
He's annoyed. I mean, that's the kind of thing you're going to do, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he's not going to suffer fools, is Casper. this guy's just annoyed him.
Yep.
And perhaps as you do that, that's when the shadow suddenly leaps across the building, and it's almost like it was waiting for you to say that.
Yeah.
Almost with glee, this thing stretches out, and no longer it looks just like a shadow. There's like a claw shape that forms almost immediately, and then two almost wraith-like arms that kind of stretch out and reach across to this guy who looks back at you and is obviously thinking he's got away with it. And he's suddenly set upon by something that is absolutely terrifying. And there is, I mean, you see the blood from where you are. I think we need to kind of see what happens with regards to with Umbra. Yeah, because it's liable to get messy, because Umbra is a pet of Casper's, we should point out, and as a result it does have some attributes of its own. Namely, it is, what were those attributes? Can you remember?
It's savage.
Oh, it's loyal. It's incredibly loyal, isn't it? And it is savage.
And it is savage.
So, and so it's going to basically rip apart this fella.
Yep.
Now, I think with the cohort, it tends to be one level higher in quality than your tier. So how's he going to do this? You roll their quality. So it's only going to be 1d.
Yep.
Because its quality is 1 higher than your tier, and your tier is 0.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be 1 dice. So if you can roll something really nice and high, that would be fantastic. You have I should know this. Do you have the little dice thing on the left-hand side of the menu down the left-hand side of the screen?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
You do. So you can click on that and you can roll
1 die.
1d. Yeah. Okay. And so yeah, it sets upon him, and he is. You see the blood flash from where you are. As it looks black in the moonlight as this stuff kind of sprays out. But Umbra is not perfect, and it fails to perhaps notice the blade that the man is carrying.
No.
And as this thing sets upon him, he instinctively grabs the blade, and you can see him kind of swinging it around as this shadow falls upon him, cutting into Umbra. And you actually hear Umbra scream almost in pain. But the blood flows freely and splatters across the top of this rooftop. And before finally Umbra kind of settles down and starts crawling slowly down the side of the building. But you do hear
Oh.
a bell ringing distantly.
Umbra, ouch.
As Umbra limps down the side of the building towards you.
That's fine. But then you like the spirit wardens will distract everyone else from our shenanigans.
Nicholas, let's get up this bloody building.
Please don't die of like a blood infection before you get to the roof.
Remember, you can push yourself for 2 stress.
Right.
if you are still ascending, unless you want to find another way in. I mean, you're kind of part way up the building. There is a window to the left of you. You could maybe even reach across and go through that window if you wanted to.
Am I up against the top floor, or?
You're not on the top floor yet. You've got you're on the floor below it.
Yeah, I'll keep climbing.
So you could keep going, or
going inside is just going to make it more complicated to get up. So.
Yeah, using the stairs far more complicated than the drain pipe.
Exactly. Straight up the side.
Go for it.
And then. And I will just straight prowl up again.
Yep.
Am I still risky?
Yes, I think so.
Excellent.
Whee! Nice. Okay. You find yourself on the top floor, and the window. You can see this window into the room to the left of you. And you reach across to lift it open. And maybe that's when you see the tripwire, but it's too late. And as you lift the window and the wire pulls taut, you hear a soft ding 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 of a bell going off. But the window is open. Climb in.
Yep, straight inside.
Okay.
Oh, with the screaming and the bells and everything, like they probably.
Well,
would
I
have been
mean, there is
quiet
that. There is that. Yeah. So you climb into the room. You can kind of see this large metal box, kind of looming out of the wall. And you can see the mechanism on the front of it.
What entrances are there to this room?
There is one door on the far side of the room, from the window where you came in. It is shut at the moment. It looks a fairly sturdy door.
Can I see the bell that was attached to the tripwire at all? Or is that
You can't, strangely.
Okay, I'm just gonna
So
run
the
straight
wire,
across the room.
you can follow
get
the
behind door.
wire, and it kind of leads out
Yeah.
through a small hole or channel in the above the
That's
door
fine.
frame.
I'll
Yep.
just go straight across the room and get behind the door.
Okay, nice. You kind of hide yourself there in the shadows, waiting for any visitors. Ashlyn,
Mhm.
you are aware, as these people are talking to you and trying to calm you down, or what they think is trying to calm you down, there's a sudden scream from the corridor just outside. And the taller man, his head snaps around, and the shorter chap, who you know is Leitch. He kind of looks across at you, and his eyes narrow.
I jump up and hang on to his hand, going, "Oh my God, do you think they've got into the house?"
Okay. Sure. What's Slip and Solomon? What is their response? You probably hear Ashlyn say that from that room.
I don't really know.
Quick flashback, if I may.
Okay. Yeah.
Very simple one. When we were in the basement, I said to Solomon, "Pull up your mask. Pull down your hood."
Okay. That's not going to cost you anything. That's fairly easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're standing just looking with eyes,
Yeah.
Like the shadowy. Yeah.
and I say, "Command." lady say,
Get down on the floor and nobody gets hurt.
Okay. Command away.
desperate?
Ooh.
Risky?
Let's go with risky for now.
Yeah. But Nicholas is already hurt.
Okay. Bollocks.
She screams and turns to run away, and then you kind of see this taller figure appears in the doorway, and you hear him shout, "Good Lord!" Yeah, Ashlyn.
What does the chap do? The one.
He. Well, are you trying to convince him that you're not part of this? Was that the?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were the perpetrators of her assault.
Ah, okay. Well, I think that may require some.
Yeah, we'll go with that. I'm just winging it. I have no idea what I'm actually doing. So it would be sway again, wouldn't it?
If you say so.
Risky.
Yeah.
Standard.
Yeah.
Oh, do I stress it? Do I push it?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I'm gonna do it because
Yeah. I mean, it's not that. I guess it doesn't seem that hard to get stuff back.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm like, don't leave me, don't leave me, please don't leave me. And I grab the whiskey and I start to drink it. We should hide.
Now, this would be funny if I make it so that your complication is you drank the one with the trans powder.
No, I would not. No, shut up, Andy.
Yes.
She ends up unconscious in some street brand house.
No.
Do it.
I'm not going to do that because she would have known. She would know which one is.
I would know. Yeah.
Yeah. Third time
So-
it happens, you get used to you build up a tolerance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're going to go with a limited effect here. So he basically kind of looks at you and he says, "Go and sit down there while I investigate what's happening." He says.
Damn it didn't work. Okay.
No, it did work.
It might work. It might not work for a while.
Yeah, it's just that it's not.
Okay, so as he goes to walk off,
Yeah. I karate chop.
I just pull a knife
Akaroshi
out.
knife
I pull a knife out and hold it to his throat and go, just sit down.
Oh.
I just assumed he was
Ooh,
going to fall asleep later. Yeah.
that changes things slightly, doesn't it? So, what's that going to be? So, what ability would you use for that? I know what I think you would use.
Finesse?
Command.
I don't think it's a finesse thing. I mean, you could do it. But how would you be finessing
Prowl?
it? How would you be prowling this? Is it ambush? Maybe you could argue, maybe.
Is there an ambush one?
Well, no, it's kind
Commando
of like no. I'm
skirmish,
saying
I
your
guess,
prowl
yeah.
would be effective.
I haven't got
That's an
commando
ambush.
skirmish.
Prowl would be good because it is an ambush. He's turned his back.
Yeah, I'm
she's
thinking it
jumped-
might
yeah.
work.
He's not expecting it, is he?
Yeah, that's a bit of
No.
an ambush.
Okay,
that.
so yeah, I think that's what I think. That it might.
I mean,
well
I'm
work.
taking him by surprise. He thinks I'm hysterical, like, and I'm just going to turn around and put this knife to his throat.
Yeah. Little does he know she's hysterical and dangerous.
Which is always a great combo.
Yeah.
Is it
Risky,
possible?
standard.
Do we hear any of this going on, and can we assist by making ourselves present in the doorway?
I think you can, but I think this situation may have gone up to desperate
Oh,
in
Bob's.
that regard. But I think you can assist in that, yeah, with an extra dice if that's the case.
So the lady keeps screaming, and I just keep striding towards her, and
Yeah.
then I stand in the doorway, and I hear what Ashlyn's saying, and I just
Yeah.
stand there and say, "I think that you should listen to the lady," or something like that.
Is it
Okay.
desperate, standard,
This is desperate.
standard?
Yeah, go on then.
With one plus one die.
Yeah, you got.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, I'll roll it again then. I want to miss that die.
Okay. You hold the knife to this guy's throat. You tell him to sit down. Was that what you're saying? What were you doing? You were telling
Just
him
turn around and he goes and
Oh, yeah.
because I'm saying stay with me, and he gets up and I go like,
Yeah.
flipping heck. So I just get the knife and hold it to his throat and say, just sit down now.
Okay, and you can hear a distant bell ringing at this point in time. You hear that, and then a lighter bell starts ringing as well, which is inside the house, strangely. And that's when the butler decides that he's going to make his move, and he knocks the knife out of your hand.
I thought he'd gone.
No? Oh no,
thought
he was
he-
looking out the door. He was looking out
I
the door.
thought
That's
he'd
a good
gone out
point.
the door.
Yeah, you're right. Can we retcon that?
Yeah, you can, because
All
I'm
right.
on my own, yeah.
So, in other
The
words,
butler had a flashback. Or he
I've
anticipated
already
it.
left.
yeah, so you've commanded this guy, but there is a complication, or you have reduced effect. So, and it's desperate. So it's a serious complication that occurs. Any ideas, folks?
As he sits down, I drop the knife.
Okay, yeah, all right, yeah, that's good. Yeah, I like that. So he kind of sits down, and what is
that's
it that
a
makes
relief.
you drop the knife?
I was
it's
going
gonna
to
be-
say. I was going to say he stumbled because of the drug taking effect, and he got.
He didn't take the
Punctured.
drink, did he?
Not yet.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I thought he
Um,
took it. It didn't have an effect. Okay.
He sits down, and as he does that, I noticed that Slip speaks at that time, so it kind of makes me. I wasn't expecting Slip to be there, so I
Okay.
sort of turn round and I drop, and he knocks the knife out of my hand. Maybe.
Yeah, well, I can't think of anything, so that'll do. Either way, you are now disarmed. Your
Add a
knife
flash
flatters
in-
to the floor,
Oh, goodness.
and it skitters underneath the sofa that Leach has just sat down on. Yeah.
Is this where you have a flashback that you have all your weapons attached to zip codes?
Yeah, they're all on bungee cords. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Nicholas, you can hear a fracas going on downstairs, my friend. There's some shouting, some screaming. The little bell seems to be lost now, but you can hear a different bell in the background. You immediately know what that means. It means that the Death Seeker Crows will be on their way here very, very soon. That somebody has died nearby, and that the Spirit Wardens will shortly be here to find the body and dispose of it before a ghost can emerge from it. This is not a good thing.
So there's a ghost in the vicinity.
Not yet. You got a couple of days before the ghost appears.
Ah.
It's always ghosts, though.
Ghost?
Yeah. The ghostest with the mostest.
Right then.
Didn't know.
I think we went over this at session
This is-
0.
We probably did. Oh yeah, somebody wasn't there.
Should have watched it.
We have liability.
Oh yeah, and he didn't even watch the VOD, so he gets everything.
Yep.
Yeah, you're in a desperate position, mate. I can tell you that.
In real life too.
Why didn't you shoot the crows and see if they create a little birdie ghost?
Nicholas,
Well, are there smaller
you are
spirit
standing.
ones that come to
Oh,
them?
Yeah, little masked rat.
Yes. If it sounds like there's a lot going on downstairs, I'm going to take a chance and assume nobody's coming to investigate this bell.
all
I'll
right.
just head straight over to the safe, and
Mm,
I'm going to finesse the safe.
you sure are, mate. You're gonna finesse the hell out of it.
Well, I'm probably not, but, you know, I'm going to roll the dice.
Yeah, you remember you can push yourself if you want.
I think I am going
I mean,
to
there is the
push
devil's
myself.
bargain thing. If anybody can think of a suitable devil's bargain here, you could take a bonus dice for, but it does mean that there will be something that will happen whether you succeed or not. Has anybody got any good ideas for a devil's bargain here?
I mean, I would be tempted suggesting something with his wound, like, because that's like the obvious hindrance he's got at the moment. Like, it could get much worse.
Hmm.
He just keeps pushing himself.
Right, so you're thinking that the injury is going to be more severe and will
Yeah, how
affect
much
him.
harm has he taken?
He's taken on level 1 so far, but no, you didn't resist it, did you? So
Devil's
Yeah.
bargain could be that there's some tracking mechanism on the on the which
there's
it comes to.
yeah, okay,
Like a dye or something.
yes, that's quite a good one. Yeah, there is something on this safe, that
Yeah.
if you touch it, it's going to leave some kind of residue on you, which allows you to be tracked.
Yeah.
By whom, we don't know yet, but how's about that? Would you take that devil's bargain for an extra dice to open this safe?
On
Deal
the
with
safe
that problem
itself,
later.
no. If it was on the book, we're handing that on. I don't care.
Yeah, but you would have touched the book.
Yeah, it will be on you.
It's like whatever you touched.
Nah.
Yeah. I mean, it would be quite cool if they had some kind of like ectoplasmic thing that, yeah, I mean, no, he's not going to take it, but you could have an ectoplasmic thing that basically you register as like a false positive for the crows until like you can get rid of it. That would be quite a cool one.
No.
Depends how desperate you are for that bonus die, I guess.
Yeah. So it wouldn't necessarily come back to us. It could just like,
You're gonna-
yeah.
Alright, you want to
I
push
think
yourself in it?
Gonna sit as well as I can sit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Knowing my luck with dice, if I had more dice, I'll just more failures.
Right, now your harm is with your leg, so I don't think it's going to affect you with what you're
Yeah.
attempting to do here. So I don't think you will have the negative effect or the minus to your effect. I think this will be fairly standard. If you try to run or do any climb or do anything strenuous like that, then you will have this issue.
I'll get an
With
outcome this
effect.
one.
But opening this safe shouldn't be an issue. And you wanted to, you're going to finesse it, did you say?
I'm going to finesse it.
All right, let's see if you can.
Are we still risky or did we move to desperate?
I think this is going to be. This is going to be. Yeah, I don't think there's any major complications if you don't make it, other than the fact that it's just not going to open, I guess. So I think it's going to be risky.
Yep.
In terms of maybe discovery. But
Okay then. My dice rolls.
yay! Okay. So what I will say here then, you have cracked the combination part of this safe, and you do it fairly quickly. And so now you just know the key. Key is required. and you don't think, judging by what you know of this lock, you don't think you can open it without that key. But you've cracked the combination side of it.
I told you guys you couldn't.
Oh, that's problematic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. I will.
Is that fair? Do you think that's fair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll head out of the room then and try and figure out what's going on downstairs.
Yeah, and there's a lot of
walk
noise.
down there blatantly, but try and figure out what's going on if I can get down.
Yeah, you can walk to the top of the stairs. You can hear shouting. You can hear threats being made, perhaps, or voices, certainly. And I'm going to just quickly cut across to Casper.
Yes.
As Umbra eases itself down the side of the building, you can tell it's hurt.
Yeah.
And it kind of wraps itself around you almost when it reaches you, and then kind of disappears.
As soon as
you can hear it almost kind of whimpering.
As soon as it does, while it happens, I lift my coat so it easily gets on, and then I kind of wrap it up. Yeah. And then I'll set off back to the house as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I mean, it was just around the corner. It wasn't too far. And you can hear, as you going down the back into the basement entrance where your companions went. And, yeah, you kind of notice that the door is now open there. You know, you obviously, Slip and Solomon got in. And you make your way inside, and you can hear this shouting from the top of the stairs, or on the floor above you. And there seems to have been something that's happened. You kind of get the feeling that the whole operation may have gone a little bit, a bit Pete Tong.
In the
like in a movie.
Just a tad, just a little bit.
In the basement, is there any sort of electrical fuse box or anything?
No, this is interesting because it would be electroplasmic, if anything, wouldn't it?
But is there like any main breaker or something?
I don't know. I don't know whether that's the case or not. So I'm going to.
I thought it was all candles and.
I mean, there would be, and maybe even here, because this is kind of roughly. So, like, you're right. No, probably not. It's going to be more.
Sorry, Andy.
Thanks, it's kind of more abandoned, this area, isn't it? So it's less likely to have all the mod cons. So yeah.
He's going to, before he goes up, he's going to pull up his mask.
Yeah.
And then he'll make his way upstairs to where the noise is all coming from.
Okay. And I guess while you're doing that, then, as you reach the top of the stairs, you see Solomon and Slip on the top of the stairs. Slip is currently about to what?
Pulls out his sword.
Okay.
Smashes it along the mantelpiece where the clock and the vase is with the flowers on it.
All right.
Takes down the mirror that's on there as well. It all smashes to the floor, and he points it. He points it at the little guy. He points it at Cedric, who he thinks is Cedric, given the description that he was given about the person earlier from Nicholas and Casper, and he just says,
"Give me the key now."
Okay.
And
I think I know what you're doing.
yeah, and that's a command. I'm going to push myself for this one.
All right.
So 2 stress for 1 extra dice. Unless, I don't know if Solomon's wanting to jump in on helping this action somehow. Or if you don't have to.
I could-
But
Yeah, no, I mean, I could try with sway and just be like, it's like,
that's cool. I'll roll that.
yeah, yeah. I don't like. I don't,
5.
That's all I have on resolve are attune and sway.
You could have assisted him by looking menacing.
Take 2
Or just
stress
creepy.
for that.
I mean, I would. Yeah, I don't know.
So I point at him, like bark at him, and I roll a 5.
Like actually, bark. Yeah.
Yeah. And he he says, what key?
And I put the sword right to his neck, and I kind of just sit down slightly to his shoulder where I assume the chain is.
Yeah.
And just kind of chink 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 chink.
Yeah. You take the key from him. He kind of takes it off and he hands it to you. And he says, "We're in 6 towers now."
Well spotted.
Things aren't always what they seem. Did you think I would be completely unprotected?
I hand the key to Solomon,
Okay.
Yeah.
and I keep the sword at his throat.
While they were doing that, I grabbed my knife from under the chair, by the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna make
Alright.
I'm gonna withdraw it upstairs
Okay.
because we need the book. We don't need to faff around with this.
Okay. And it's at that point that something seems to swirl. There's like a quick flash of light from the corner of the room.
Oh.
And
Oh.
something seems to step out of
Shit.
the shadow.
Shit.
In kind of like this, almost incandescent as it does so.
Is it a ghostykins?
But translucent.
Shit.
And I
Solomon,
think
just leave the room. Shit.
I would have felt. I mean, I would have felt this probably happening. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
as this something stirs and appears to manifest
time for
itself
this.
in front of you. And I think we better call it there, actually, and we'll take and leave it till next time because it's getting on a bit. So, are we all right? Yeah, to call
Yeah,
it
it's
there?
good. Well done.
Yeah.
Good place.
I would have attuned the ghost and made it possess the guy so he could have a body.
Oh dear.
Right, you are. Well, there we go. So that's episode 1.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed it this evening.
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, it's all going to be fine. When are we next
Yeah.
playing this? It's 3 weeks' time, is it?
Yeah. I think
December the 12th.
December the 12th.
it's
So
So we're going
2 weeks tonight, I think.
yeah, I'm going to let you do the talky bit, Croy, because you're good at that.
yeah, thanks to everybody for coming along tonight. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the follows. Thanks for the extra subscriptions there, guys. Really generous, and I'm so glad that you're enjoying what we're doing here, and you're joining in on the games as well. Don't forget, we've got loads of games coming up over December. We are taking a break over Christmas, but there will still be games happening. So get onto Discord. Get yourself assigned a role if you're a GM, if you're looking for players, if you're a player looking for a GM and a table. There's loads of different games all across the genres of tabletop role-playing games happening with Infinite Monkey Tales community. Thank you very much to our GM tonight, Some Old Pirate. Thank you very much for... I love Blades in the Dark, and you've done an awesome job as always, so thanks very much for that. Thanks very much to TheInfinaty there, who was doing the production, and is now very late, so he's keeping his voice just hushed so he doesn't wake up his family. So, yeah, thank you very much to Kadari and Lloyd and Angie Pops as well. Guys, absolutely brilliant. We're going to be playing some more games. We're going to be doing Casting the Runes, I believe, on Friday next
Don't
week.
say that, because
Maybe. Maybe.
TBD.
I think we're going on a cruise next Friday.
Or we're going to be doing some Cthulhu. The slight scheduling to work out. On is it Mutants and Masterminds next Saturday?
It is.
Excellent. So we'll be doing something a little bit different. You can find me on Twitch tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Community Points Challenge, where my chat, awesome, lovely people, have challenged me to play House Flipper VR, and I have 7 houses left to flip to
If
meet
you
that
wanted
challenge.
to play it, it wouldn't have been a challenge, would it?
I mean,
So-
nobody said you had to flip them for a profit.
That's very true. That's very true, Lloyd. That is very true. Lloyd, are you going to be streaming tomorrow afternoon? Have you got any indie games going
Yeah,
on?
I'm probably gonna. So I'll be on at 1:30 for a couple of hours. I'm probably gonna. I think this one I might try out the new World of Warcraft expansion. Yeah, World of Warcraft expansion that just launched this week. Shadowlands. Run through like the introduction quest and area for that. So if people fancy checking it out.
Yeah. So that's afternoon and morning, and there'll be other games as well announced on
Monday's
the
the
Discord as well.
talkie-talkie.
So, Monday as well. Yeah, we're going to be having a round table,
Talk about stuff.
and we're going to be talking,
Yeah.
I think, about the differences. Is it between railroads and
Yeah,
open
let's
world, or
think of
something?
something better. Unless somebody comes up with another.
Something along those lines. So we'll not be playing virtual reality in a kilt before anybody. I am not playing virtual reality House Flipper in a kilt. So
Unless
whatever
the
your
community
fantasies might be,
challenge.
Yeah.
just get that one out
Sorry,
of your head.
ladies.
Look at the
Sorry,
business
ladies,
line.
but it's not
Everyone has
happening.
a price.
Oh, to be fair, I was a bit. I was a little bit shocked when the shorts came out and the Scottish white legs were out. It was a bit shocking. There was
Yeah.
no pre-stream warning or anything. It's just there it was. There were the Scottish legs one day.
It was
no
so
warning.
white. It was so white. The like green screen couldn't handle it.
Yeah, that's it. I had to adjust the gain
It's
and
a
the
floating
filter.
torso.
Yeah,
That's how we solved
excellent.
this problem. We got Cry to watch somebody who was streaming in shorts, and Cry streamed in shorts. We need to get Cry to watch somebody who's streaming in a kilt.
Just think of the new followers you'd get. Talking of followers,
I think you should
guys,
do it as a
we
goal.
need three followers to get to 100 followers on the channel.
On
Well, that
YouTube
means we got 3 during the stream.
or here.
No, it's on
Mm.
here.
It's
Yeah,
like
it'd be
forward
nice if
that
some
first.
of you subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, because
Yeah,
that's
everybody.
very sad.
Yeah, everybody go to YouTube and just press the subscribe button and go and watch the videos.
Infinite monkey.
But don't watch the videos, just subscribe.
But
Watch
just
the
watch the
videos.
videos.
Videos are-
free. It's free on YouTube.
It costs
yeah,
you
you,
nothing.
it costs you nothing. Just makes us feel our egos feel better.
What are
Our
we
fragile
doing now,
egos.
guys? Are we going to raid somebody? Are we going to?
Yeah,
Are we
can
going to
raid
call it a
someone.
night? Are we going to raid
No,
somebody?
let's raid
Let's
somebody.
see if
Who's
anybody's
doing
up.
what right now?
That would have been a good thing to have planned, wouldn't it?
We need to do a fundraiser to get some old pirate a VR kit so he can do his own house flipping at home.
Oh, wouldn't that be a thing? It would. No, the thing is, I just wouldn't do the challenges. If I see a challenge, I automatically go, "Fuck that." And
I mean, that's the thing.
and
You could end up with like one of those channels where it's just you have this like this antagonistic relationship with everyone in your stream.
well, a bit like this one, you mean?
No, it's just with us.
Excellent. Right. Well, if we haven't got a raid
Right.
target, then we maybe let everybody off for the evening. Thanks to everybody. Absolute pleasure having you along. I love Blades in the Dark. I am so glad we're playing it again. It really is an awesome system. Anybody got any questions about it in Discord, just ask and we'll go through it. But I think we'll call it a night there, guys.
No,
Are we
Yeah.
raiding someone? Keen's saying Nightheart Gaming's doing D&D.
Oh,
Very
okay,
good.
okay. Yeah.
We
Right,
could
there we
do
go.
that.
Those poor sorry souls. They don't know what's happening.
So let's go over, if you've got all of the emotes because you are a subscriber to this channel, then let's go over Infinite Monkey Tails raid
Oh no.
and spam those Dennis's.
Let's get banned.
Yeah, there's no way that could backfire.
It's backfired before. I got sent everybody and we got banned.
I mean, the alternative is you can just be nice and say hello.
Yeah, we did get banned this
There we
time.
go. Raid.
Them to death.
No worries,
Excellent,
guys.
guys.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cheers, everybody.
Right. Have a good evening, everybody.
Bye. Bye. Oh, we just got to wait here saying bye. Oh, here we go.
Yep.
Until it goes.
Remember, stop the VOD.